What's up, everybody? GaminGargoyle here, and welcome back to another episode of Lumberjacks Dynasty. And today, guys, we are having that amazing early access full syndicate 2-day event, and I have with me once again special guest star, the man, the myth, the legend, the behemoth of the gaming industry. We got ourselves Zomagi.
Moin moin. Hello, what's up, guys? Always this introduction. You are the king of introductions, let me tell you.
I try. You know, you got to play around with it, and when you find one that sticks and goes, you run with it. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So big shout outs to the early birdies here. We got Spiderette, Zent, Broken Trucker, AO Mike. Great stream today. Fantastic, my man. Thank you so much for showing up and doing a good job. You guys are doing fantastic. So fingers crossed everything's going to go well today. So let's get the show rolling as we normally do. Let's get our music hopping. Let's get our timer counting down. And so we got 3 minutes to kick back, relax, unwind, and enjoy the full release game today, guys. If you haven't heard, that link, that shiny link that's down below in my description there, that's a direct link to the Steam homepage where you too can pick yourself up the full copy. If you got a computer, then you got to have your game, this game, because the graphics are top notch. I got Amored last night. We just did nothing but just checked out all the changes in just the beauty of the game, and I tell you, it was amazing. So thank you so much, Broken Trucker. I can't agree with you any more than what, you know, it was amazing. I couldn't catch the whole thing, but it was a great stream, Mike, so thank you. You betcha, Deuce. Thank you, dude. So today's plans, guys, is if you own the game, doesn't matter where you're at on it, I'm going to throw some things out at you, and I want you guys, if you haven't already, to hook up into the Avalon Discord. That description's in the link below, too. That link is in the description below. And basically, I'm going to get you guys, there's a channel in there, it says Lumberjacks Dynasty. We're going to do some pictures and stuff like that going around today. Like, for example, whoever's got the best picture of a sheep in their hands in front of a waterfall. Whoever brings up the best picture of that with the light settings and everything else, I'm going to turn that into a thumbnail. So I'm going to
compete in that.
Yeah, of course you can. Anybody can.
All right,
Anybody can. So that is the first thing up. That's what we're going to do here for approximately the next hour, guys, is going to give everybody a chance to go around, find some sheep, and get themselves in front of a waterfall. There's no timer on how long it takes for you to take one of these sheep back in one of these quests. So yeah, I figured it's something that not everybody, you know, like, has to race around, like, you know, how fast can you build up this town or this building, you know, because, you know, not everybody is, you know, that great with working on the controller or working on their mouse. So I want to make it nice and community friendly. So that's the first goal for today, guys. We'll be mentioning that here over the next half hour and all that. So people get a chance who are just coming in to join in on the fun. And the main game today is we're going to just basically hang around the main farm. We're going to fix it all up. We're going to take our time. We're going to keep it in the daylight. Yeah, we're going to live the life of a lumberjack. This is going to be a brand new start. This is going to be the actual game that we continue forward with in the entire series. Yesterday was a fantastic little show and tell, but it was pretty unprogressive in the game. So 10 seconds left, folks. 10 seconds left. Let's hit this timer.
We
I'm gonna catch up a game. There we go. Game is caught up. Perfect. So here we go, guys. Once again, let's listen to see through the opening cut screen. No worries, Bob. Morning, Gabe. Sorry, Gabriel. I gotta stop doing that. I'm gonna do my best. We're gonna rush through the very beginning part. We're gonna take the tour of the farm in the morning, and your little screen off. Can I get a little more clarification on that, Trucker, please? Little screen off. But yes, so we got the beautiful artwork. Deuce found it. He found it yesterday. It's going to cost you 100 eggs, 100 milk, and 100 apples to get that little the articulating log tractor. That thing looks cool. I have not seen it personally in game. I'm glad Deuce found it. It was awesome. Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Are you talking like the little thought bubble above the funny bug GG? Try to look at yourself when you're in your car. Okay, I could do that. Are you talking about the with the teeth dental surgery? Don't worry, guys. The devs are already on top of it. We got the reports in and everything else. Zona sent me an awesome picture. Zomagi had an awesome one on his stream just before mine.
Yeah,
it was.
You already saw it. The zombie bug. So funny.
Hey, Steve.
I actually didn't know about that.
Or Steve, sorry. I didn't either.
Major changes in your life often come
I
unexpected.
thought it was absolutely normal.
Yeah. Cutscene.
A week ago, my favorite Aunt Grace called me. As a boy, I used to spend a lot of time on her lumber farm. Now, of course, she and my Uncle Charles have grown old, and they're looking forward to a happy retirement. They decided to sell their dwindling business and need my help to bring it up to shape.
How do you get rid of that thing?
Peace and quiet of the mountains.
I'm losing audio on game if I try to play with it. I'll wait until afterwards.
Views and the sweat of good old-fashioned hard work.
I pay attention.
I'll put my city life on hold, turn off my telephone, and return to the bosom of nature. At least for a while.
All right, chapter 1, guest in the house. I was thinking it was this little screen, but as Zomagi was pointing out during the cut screen, he's got a little itty bitty box in his cam. I got it. All right, so I tried tabbing out to hit it, but then it cut out the sound. So now we'll do it. Now we'll tab through. What the hell is this box?
I don't know. It's like from Discord, the loading screen or something else. I was first of all pointing against the wall here, like a totally different direction. And then I was like,
oh, it's my camera. It's my camera is what it is. And because I'm using OBS, it can't do a picture-in-picture, so it's sitting there going, I'm stuck. And so it's sitting there doing this little whatever. I did not program it. I have no control over that. So all I can
As you
ever
said yesterday, no GG stream without.
That's right, without a technical difficulty.
Yes.
All
What's
right.
number 1?
Let's go find the ante.
Great to see you. It's been years, but you've grown up so handsome. We've both missed you.
It's nice to see you too. You look great as always, dear Auntie. I'm looking forward to staying with you.
Well, thank you. You'll have our old house all for yourself. We've moved to a smaller house right across the street. It's a lot easier to keep tidy.
I see you want to sell most of your property.
Yes, we're looking for a buyer for the house and the lumber mill. We haven't got the strength anymore, and
Where's
with no
Blue?
one to help, the buildings are a bit run down.
I'll be only too glad to help you with whatever you need me to do. You realize that, don't you?
Oh, thank you. You're so kind.
That's 'cause
I'm
he was
indeed
laughing so
worried
hard.
about your uncle. He's too old to be out working in the forest, doing all the heavy lifting himself.
I can imagine. The forest has always been very close to his heart.
Moving those levers in the tractor
about
when
a
you're
little
40
tour?
years old is
Fine.
hard, dang it.
I will show you everything.
Talking about your uncle working hard out in the field at his age. He's sitting there on a bloody
You know, I'm really fond
tractor.
of this place.
He's not
I've
dragging
spent
the logs.
most of my life here.
And then he flaunts that tractor for hours. Or for days.
Hello? Yes, darling? He just arrived.
Awesome, Zen. Is it
Oh
Zent?
no, do you need any help?
I want to say it correctly. I like saying people's names correctly.
I will ask him. Your uncle has a problem in the forest. Could you please get over there and see what's wrong?
Yes, of course. Where can I find him?
He's in a clearing behind the sawmill. I am sure you'll find him right away. Take our old pickup. It's parked in front of the house.
Will do. See you later.
Nice. I'm gonna have to play my video back. Just remember that opaque backgrounds, bottom border. You want to write that down for me so I can go back and check the recording? I think I see something that might need a bit of just a little, it's only an artwork touch up. Should we grab the apples or should we start nailing things down? I think we should probably go get the Christine and do that, I guess, first. Zent is fine? Okay, you betcha. Hey man, I'm all about saying people's names the correct way. I end up having to correct the person that I had the appointment with last night there at the end of one stream. I had to ditch early to go do that appointment thing, so kept calling me the wrong name. So on the third correction, I think she got it. God damn it, lady, you want me to respect you? Then you better start respecting me. Needless to say, she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, Christ. And of course, for the profession that she's in and everything else, she should damn well know better. But, well, he kind of looks like the Bush. Oh, the Bush guy. Yeah. I know who you're talking about, Bob. Yeah, you're right. I think Charlie and Grace are refugees from the Hells Angels under the Witness Protection Program. Hells Angels here is a very well-known motorcycle gang in North America. They are quite large and can be quite violent in certain zones.
Were you talking to me right now?
Yeah, I was just clarifying where the Hells Angels reference came from.
Yeah, I know the Hells Angels. And I also know some other motorcycle gangs, but I don't talk about that much. I know a few people from there.
Yeah, no, I know quite a few of them. Like I said, not all chapters are bad, but there are some bad eggs. There's some bad zones.
Absolutely.
Yep, I mean, people are all like that too. All right, let's go see how deep the uncle stuck himself here again.
Hello, lad. Good to see you.
Nice to see you too, dear uncle. Aunt Grace told me you have a problem.
Got stuck in the mud. I used to be better at handling the accelerator. Can you help me?
Sure, no problem. What do you want me to do?
Get on the tractor and try to attach the trailer. Let's see if you could get it out of the water.
Now every time I see that opaque thing, I'm looking. Here's a question I've never checked before, but can we remove those closed captions in the options? No. 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 I'm going to have to ask for that. You can't take a real good screenshot without having closed captions stuck in it. My editing software doesn't like it. Yo, what's up, Damien? Welcome to stream this morning. Today, welcome to the full release, guys. Once again, that link down there in the shiny shinies, we got ourselves a link for the Steam homepage where you just got to do a one-click stop, and you too can find yourself at the mercy of your credit card. Do you buy? I say yes.
Well
Click
done.
now.
You have some skill, you know that. But this is just the beginning. Let's see
It's
if you
just
remember
you're
how
all
to
the time
handle
talking,
tree
and I'm
this
like
time.
mimicking
Follow
and
me, lad.
my
Yep.
gesture.
I can see it. Since I got you on a larger screen right over here, I can see you through my peripheral through the side of my glasses. That's how I could see you were doing the thing with the box. That's how I knew that you were doing it. And then I saw the like I can see whenever you reach down to type and everything, take a drink. I got that covered. Over here, I can use my peripheral to catch to see when the chat jumps. So when the chat jumps, like right now, I can see Dan says greetings and salutations. So I can't have a bigger computer monitor. I can't do it because if I do it, then everything's going to be out of that peripheral and I won't be able to focus on everything all at once.
Now pick up the chainsaw.
Nah.
Still remember what I taught you. Be careful.
Oh, go for it. Go for it, man. Pick up the chainsaw. Hey man, I got a kid. It's all cool. My kid comes in. What do we do when Captain Caveman comes in, folks? We know what we all do. Hey man, family's important. Family's important.
But this right now is work, and yeah, I have to like get myself like a side.
Don't you ever
air.
think my streams work, man. This place is nothing but taking the time to kick back, relax, and have a good time. You know, even if I get paid for it, it's still going to be the same thing. This to me is my outlet. As a chronic pain patient, we have to find something that we can use as an outlet. And this is my outlet. And I will never allow it to change. Exactly. I will now never allow it to change. My community wouldn't allow me to change it. There's no way. They just can't, they deserve to have, the GG having his fun,
Just because of that, it's your community. That's what they like you for, because you are yourself, and this is how you are.
Oh yeah, I mean, and the greatest thing is that they're all like-minded people. I mean, that's how we all got together to form the syndicate crew, is through the community itself. Everybody just kind of like, come over here. I think this is the place for you, very opening and welcoming, especially when they find groups that are, other folks, that are like-minded. It's like, yeah, come on in. It's been fantastic. It keeps growing and growing, but I don't see any less participation from anyone just because it gets larger. And I think that is an amazing thing to have happen. Normally you get little cliques. Only certain people want to do this. Only other people want to do that. But with this community, everybody's involved all the time. It's fantastic. I love it. I absolutely love it. Welcome back, Jeremy. Welcome back. Prepare yourself, my man. We are going to have ourselves some really cold temperatures coming through. So make sure you got your cold clothes pulled out. I know we've had a little bit of warm weather over the last week, but we're going back to the colds. We're going back to the Arctics. Ugh. Yeah, that's right, Spiderette. Let's throw some hearts in chat for the community, folks. Not for us streamers, but for the actual community themselves. You guys make coming here every day so special, I tell you. You guys are all awesome. Come on, I can do it. I can do it. There we go. See? Persistence pays off. Stubbornness always wins.
Absolutely.
Hey, if it doesn't work the first time, you get a bigger hammer.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in this game, when I did my stream like half an hour ago, some people didn't want to talk to me. Then you just have to go twice. You're gonna talk to me right now, and then he talks to you.
Yep.
I have no time now. Talk a second time. What do you want? Hello, how are you?
Yeah, we need to be able to like carry Thor's hammer around or something like that. It's like, answer me.
Yes. Or else.
Yeah. Mjolnir will to have some words with you.
He always comes back into my hand. Nothing can stop him, not even your face.
Yeah, unless... Oh, what the heck? What was the red character's name there? Oh, they have a show. Wanda and something. WandaVision. Oh, her boyfriend's name there. The one who's got the crystal in his head. Jarvis.
That is Vision.
Vision, yeah.
Yeah, that's his name. The artificial intelligence, which came up in the Age of Ultron Avengers movie.
Yeah, it was a cool movie. I really like those. I was more into the graphic novels as a kid. Hell, I'll say it. I was into the comics. Can you guys tell? Jeez, I wonder. Can you guys tell? Is GG into comics just a little bit? As I got a screen up that's showing all my comic stuff. Like my new artwork. Like, I mean, my old artwork that I used to do being the theme of, older, rustic, border, type of thing, photograph. Those were my thumbnails and all that. And, with everything that's going on in life, it's like, all right,
Well done.
I got to up my game. So I took a 3-hour course and found out how to take the tools that or skills that I had, but to give me tools
You did just fine.
to put everything together.
Perhaps you'd
And
like
so
to
that's how,
explore
my
some
artwork
more,
just completely changed overnight.
or even think about settling down here.
That's brilliant.
Life is good and
I
quiet.
already
I'm
mentioned
sure
that
you'd like
Vanessa
it.
from Toplets Productions gave me like when I started
don't have
there,
to answer right away.
one afternoon,
Just
2
think
hours
about it
crash course for
while you're
Photoshop. Now I
helping
can
us
do my
here for a week or
thumbnails at
two.
least.
And then we'll see if you
But
like
like
what
for
you do,
real,
all right?
working with photos and programs like that is so huge. It's just a few things that you need to learn the basics, and you can do so much more. It's a huge thing.
Oh, I
And,
mean,
you never-
I've been doing Photoshop now for 4.5 years, and
Oh, really?
I have only just scratched the surface. But I would learn a little tiny bit of that, a little tiny bit of this, whenever little things popped up when I had an idea for something.
Just the same with Adobe Premiere Pro, which I use for cutting my videos and everything. This is like, you can do so much with it. You
Yeah.
don't learn.
And by actually that same course that I took, that 3-hour course that I took, I was able to then turn around and just go over to Adobe Premiere, and I was able to make flames in my lettering and everything else. Like, it was like
Oh,
just
really?
taking the same stuff that I had learned and putting it into Adobe without After Effects and everything else. So all my lettering looks like it's all flamed up and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah. You see the water is still going the wrong way? Oh, okay. That's going to happen, Bob. That's called a current, because in order for that, their logs to wrap around from the river, you got to have yourself a big bowl
Hello, boys.
of
Did you sort it
like a
out?
dip in the
Yes.
ground. So
It
when the
was
water
a
comes by and hits it,
refreshing
you
experience.
get that bowl
you still
effect
feel
that comes
like it,
through.
I
You
will
should see
show
what
you
they
around
do
the
at these
farm.
logging mills and stuff in British Columbia. It's pretty crazy how they will contour the land of the riverway just so that way the logs can come down and then hit that swirl and then be redirected down one riverbank instead of going off on another one at a Y. It's really cool. Tomorrow, Auntie. It's getting kind of dark.
Maybe tomorrow. I'm really tired.
No problem. Feel free to look around. You can sleep in the house, and if you're ever hungry, you just come on over to your old Auntie Grace.
But I could be
Well,
completely wrong,
we'll
and you could be
off
saying
now.
that there's something else in the
It's
game
time
where
for
it's
our
like,
nap.
no, I would put the
Enjoy
logs
your
in and they're
stay,
going the
dear.
wrong direction.
See you
They
soon.
ain't heading to the mill. That we would need to know.
See you soon, lad.
Okay, so Auntie, thank you very much. We got a little bit of daylight left, so let's use that to our advantage and just fix a couple of things up here at the farm. Oh, garage door to the face. Ow. One thing I forget about this place. It's deadly around here, living on a farm.
There's one thing that I really, really sometimes hate about this game. I love this game overall, but there's one single tiny thing that I really hate. When you go to the stores or something, the doors always open into your face.
Yes.
At the car shops, you always you get inside, everything's fine. You want to go outside, you're driving, and poof, against your car. It's always the same. I really hate that moment when you're on the stream and everybody's laughing about your being stupid.
Been there, done that. I just embrace my foolishness.
Can't change that. To that.
Yeah. Yeah, so we don't need any more scaffolding up on that end, do we? No, we don't. Let's get rid of the scaffolding. Man, I forgot how the mechanic worked and everything else for the draw-in when you do the repair. It looks so good. Could be a little bit slower for the pop, though. So, like right here, like when I go to put the repair in, I'll give you the 5 seconds so you can see it. When I go to do it, when I hit B, it kind of fades in a little bit and then just snaps. It's like, I think it needs that snap to be a little slower. You see it just kind of thump. It needs to fade in instead of just being there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, but
I see it.
I mean, it's not game breaking. It's just little tiny little things that, you know.
Piece of detail that would make it a bit better.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
yeah. You know, there's a couple other things that are in here. For example, this. This needs a bit of a rework. Yeah, you know, like in my frame for like any of the future Dynasty features. Of this nature, this particular menu section over here, it's not too clean. I would almost say that 1990 called and they want their DOS program back. You know, like it's
Alright.
you know, like it's just not up to the par of the rest of the game. When
So I mean, that could be a bit more modern.
yeah, exactly. Yep.
Alrighty.
Yeah, like things
What
like
would
that.
you
Now,
explain
you got to
there?
remember, guys, here, everybody on chat and everything else. Zomagi's off work right now. He's not as a toplets production person. So, I mean, this is two guys hanging out, basically not talking shop, but talking the industry. It's got nothing to do with, like him going off to any head office people or anything else going, Gigi says we should be doing this. No, Gigi does that on his own. I mean, I got a group chat channel for that.
I mean, everybody has his opinion.
Yep.
But what I would like to ask there, on the menu, on the how is that called? What you have your inventory, right?
Yes.
What would you like to have there? Would you have like a radio circular thing, or how would you like to have that? So that it's still usable and self-explaining for even the, not that it is that way, for the stupidest guys on the planet.
I
Structure
am
and
definitely always happy to explain and give my reasons for why I say things. So, for example, I'm just going to pop my cam off here so I can have more of a screen to it. So over in the bottom left corner, this used chainsaw and game information statistics, it doesn't really pop out to the player. When you first come into this menu, you don't see that. Your eyes are not drawn down to that. Those are two separate units down there. That's a use a chainsaw and game information. Now, when you first come into here, it would be great if it was right here in the middle of screen. It was just your inventory. But then you had a tab up along the top, a tab feature. And then you go your skills. And that would bring up another page where you can then have each and every single one of your skills better highlighted. So that way it's all there. It is seamless for when you go into the menu. It is just, here you go. Instead of going, here's all your information. Now it's like, here, I'm feeding you your peas. I'm feeding you your ham. I'm feeding you your potatoes. I didn't take it all, throw it into a pot, add some water, and stir it up.
So would you say that, from a comparison kind of side, that this menu could have a bit more of a structure like in Medieval Dynasty, where you have at the top every information piece and then it opens up like what you have?
Yeah, most definitely. Because like I say, right
with
now,
your
this is
skills
just
and
so
everything?
much.
Yeah, one thing that I absolutely see there is that the button for use chainsaw or game information and statistics could be on the other side, while on the other hand, the hunger and the sleep bar could be under the inventory with your food and everything. That would, in my eyes, make, first of all, more sense, but I mean, that's all right. We need to talk about stuff like that. That is really important. Only by doing that, games and things develop. Everybody has his opinion, and every opinion is important.
And, and with group talks and group efforts, great things can come. Even though,
Absolutely.
Too many chefs in the kitchen, cause problems. So there's a fine balance. You have to basically take your time, make your assessments, assemble the plan, and then take the action. But as each step goes through, there are less people involved. So say, for example, you have everybody gets together to assemble together to come up with ideas. Okay, well, then we assign each individuals as groups to come up with their ideas that are more like-minded for each other. Hey, Luke! And then when they get all their ideas together, everybody comes together, bounces off what they think are the top things.
Sorry, could I really quickly hop in there?
Yep.
Maybe for the people in the chat, it would be cool to see you again because you're still off.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I am bad for that. I take off the sunglasses and it's like, calm down.
He's back.
Yeah, but it's getting a little dark here, so we'll go jump in bed for the community.
So you were saying? I'm sorry, I interrupted you there.
No worries. So in the end, long story short, the first group comes up with a big pile, and then they break it down to a little bit, and then you go into your you've assembled together, and now you take and you assess everything and come up with a plan. So that plan then, from your head office, then goes down to, like, say, your developers, who is a smaller group, right? So they have, okay, this is the direct action that we're going to take, and this is how we're going to implement all this stuff. But what you can't have is have those developers, oh, guys, it says wish list on Steam. No. Go buy it on Steam. I forgot to change that last night. My bad. That 1 hour sleep I got yesterday as a nap was not enough. Forgot something. Dang it. But
Wow.
But the developers themselves, it should only be like, okay, here's the order that came from our head office, but head office got the order from the public. So the public is huge. It goes down to a smaller group of people, and then the people who actually implement it is even smaller than that. You know what I mean? So you can't have the whole public trying to reach out and, grab onto all the developers and saying, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do the other. And so the way the industry is done, you take that and then you put it into the office. So you got your everybody in the office has their opinions. Everybody groups together what they like. Then the head office puts those things together and says, okay, developers, here you go.
Bone 13, nice to have you here. In case you were wondering, nope.
No worries, Bone. You're always here, my man. You're awesome. Thank you. Lurking while you're working.
While we're talking about the games, one thing that I definitely have to say now is a kind of an employee kind of side. I know I shouldn't do that, but I will do it now.
Yep.
Since I work at this company, I absolutely see, and now I absolutely understand as well, how hard it can be for one boss or even like 2 to 3 people that have the decision to make. You can't always make it good for every person out there.
Never.
Every person, some person likes it, others don't, but you have to find like as you say, a fine balance that works kind of for everybody. And if you have many chefs, that works different too if you have one guy making the decision that has all the pressure on his neck. And that is the case sometimes.
Oh,
So,
most
yeah,
definitely. Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Like every company is different. Like I've always said, the fairest deal is when both parties walks away unhappy. Because I didn't get all that I wanted. You didn't get all that you wanted. But we got something out of it. You know what I mean? Like one person didn't get away with the lion's share of something. That is to me is fairness.
So you say better make no deal than an unfair deal?
No. I say it's better to make compromises when making deals. To be able to say that, yes, fair enough. I see that point. And, moving forward, we'll go with the other opinion. Instead of saying, no, this is just the way it's going to be. You know what I mean? Like, because that's, out of, there's no fairness into that at all. So that was one thing that, drove me nuts when I was working at, the larger company, that it was a dictatorship. That was,
right.
You know what I mean? It was, well, I'm on a whim here today, and so this is how we're going to start doing things from now on. And it's like, but we came up with the other program because it was far more efficient. Just because you had a couple beers and we're talking with your buddies last night isn't going to change the fact that the plan that came up with originally is going to be way more efficient. It drove me so much crazy. See, but I was more into the bug testing end before I moved up into the office end of things. So, yeah, I never.
That is one good thing about. Sorry, did I interrupt you there?
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
That is one thing about. That is one good thing about all these social media kind of things. That if you once reach a point where you can say, "Okay, I can do this. I can do this as my job, as my real job," then you don't have to work for anybody, and you just do how you like it, and it's your own thing. You can decide what you want, and if it's something wrong, it's on you. So you don't have to do something for other people. This is something that really is good in that situation, and there are lots of people trying to get there.
I am doing really, really good today, Luke, and we have one for you, Zomagi.
Julia, so bin jetzt auch. Julia Ratchen. So bin jetzt auch hier Engelskraft hier. Wieso heißt du denn nicht Engelskraft, Julia? So this is one German folk that I know from my streams a lot. She is a great supporter of the Toplets channel and also of my private channel. And she just told me that she's also here, but she has a different name. You know, always people have their gamer tags or their pseudonyms or something. Do you say pseudonym?
Pseudonyms. Yeah, but yes.
Yeah, all right. Like I am Marvin if I'm working for the company. I'm Zomagi if I'm working privately or something. So everybody has his name, and she has like 3 names now.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So that was one thing that my parents installed in me when I was very young, was that, when it comes to branding or anything with a company, grab it everywhere. If you come up with a company name, you get it for everything that you can. You want to keep a consolidated look all the way across. So that was one thing. So that's why it's GaminGargoyle everywhere. There's no GG here or anything like that. It's like new program pops up, I grab GaminGargoyle. I might never ever use it, but I grab it, so I have it. You know, I don't want to ever turn out to be like in a situation where Tesla paid like, you know, like $3 million just to buy Tesla.com or something from the guy. The guy was smart. Whoever bought Tesla.com, he made his money.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy had never done anything with it and held it since the early mornings. Can we tow anything with the trucks? No. There, as far as I know, no towing has been implemented into the game for the actual, like Christine or any other vehicle in the game other than tractors. And so, all right, guys, it's been about half an hour, so let's go ahead and go through and put out the reminder that if anybody wants to, please feel free to join us. I am running a little bit of a, you know, just because we can with the community. I would like over the next day or so for you folks to go ahead and drop in the Avalon Discord some pictures of your character holding a sheep in front of a waterfall, and I'm going to go ahead and I will turn that into a thumbnail. Just for something that I can do to the community, say thank you so much for all the awesome support that you guys have shown me, as well as Toplets Productions throughout this 2-day event. You guys have been killing it. Thank you. I reached a record number of viewers yesterday on the YouTube platform, so thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was awesome. That's,
What was the record number?
For me, it's my record before was 36 on YouTube. My record on yesterday I had 44. So
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a big jump.
that is it. Well, it's good. It's really good for the YouTube where I'm at for its algorithm. It's actually really good. I would love to see a heck of a lot more to be able to move, like to bring them towards Mike, towards Bone, and towards Deuce, you know, so that way everybody would be able to find someone that they like. You know, it doesn't mean that they have to stick around with me, but the more people that I can hit, the more that I can expose them to the group that I'm with. You know, like if they don't like me, well, you never know, they might like Bone, or they might like Mike, or they might like Deuce, or Peanut, or Sheep, or yourself. You know what I mean? That's what the whole, you know, recommended rascal thing's all about. You know, my whole community is about sharing a community. It's not about trying to grow just one for me. I would love to have mass numbers, just so that way I can get more exposure for everybody in the group. You know, it's not out of greed to expand my channel. It's out of hope that I can help everybody else.
Wow, that's really a good thing.
Well, when I first started off, there was no real collabs or anything really going on. Even if you're part of stream teams, everybody was out for themselves, you know, type of deal. And over time, it was like, you know, that's kind of just toxic. You know, it's like, you're always feeling like, you know, you gotta just do all this, and, you know, in order for the, you know, somebody in the group to shout you out and all that. And it's like, nah, if everybody's all cool and hanging, it don't matter if, you know, they stream only simulators or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about playing the biggest game to get the biggest numbers. It's about having the greatest time that you can. Word of mouth is a great way to get exposure. It's all right, but advertising is fantastic. There's a reason why we have that word called advertising, to get word, you know, get information out. Uh-oh, did we have Zomagi freeze up on everybody? Nope. Okay.
What?
I was just looking over at the YouTube to check my condition on it, and it looked like you were frozen there for a second, but I think it was just my computer just going through a bit of an encoding lag.
It's like sitting really still.
Could have been. I have a tendency of doing that too to my son when we're doing FaceTime calls. He'll be like, "Dad, you're frozen." I'm like, "What?" No, I was just listening really intently, buddy. You know, like.
Absolutely. Maybe you were listening really good, or you were like in your own world thinking about something important right now, but I promise you I was listening.
And that's the thing there, Luke, you know, with having so many choices, I understand that, you know, the community can't watch everybody's content all the time, so watch what you enjoy. That's why we make it. Yeah, Gargoyle. Yeah, Dr. Pepper is now in short supply. Why? Gargoyle bought it all. Yeah.
No.
Hey,
I still managed to get one.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Zomagi got himself a cherry Dr. Pepper.
Yeah,
lucky.
I'm terribly sorry, but it's already like gone. If I now pour something over my microphone, my parents will kill me.
I'd kill you. Don't
Yeah,
you
hello.
dare. That is a beautiful piece of technology. Do not damage that. Take good care of it. There you go. Oh, man. Yeah, most definitely that. Those... It's... Okay, like how to say this? You know, you can never... Well, actually, Sword said it best. He said, you never sell what makes you money. So...
But how then do you get money from it if you don't sell it?
What, your microphone? It's called doing jobs, working Steam. You know what I mean? Or streaming.
Ah, all right. Now I got you. I thought like I got you in the wrong way.
Yep, no worries. All right, so... what? Oh, Julia. My heart just fell through my stomach when you said that.
She's not allowed to drink Dr. Pepper. I really feel sorry for you, like for real.
To me, it is the ambrosia. It is just amazing. How is it we doing in here? Is there lights in game? Yes, there are. Let's lighten up the situation while we work in here.
GG, you're playing with the controller, right?
Yes.
Could you try and press once the sticks that you have, each one?
Yep.
Because
So
I think one of those are the engineer sides.
Yep, my left stick. Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Then I remember that correctly.
Yep. The only thing that I had an issue with bouncing between all the peripherals was its delay in catching each program. So I really like driving with the wheel, and but you gotta use the mouse in order to operate the crane.
Mm-hmm.
But there is at least a 1.5 seconds delay for the controller to register to override the wheel controls.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not seamless.
So?
Yeah, so here, like, watch the stream. I'm moving around with the controller. Now I will move the mouse. There you go. Took a second. You'll see the white box pops, and then it switches over. Now I'm going to go hit the controller. You see, like, I hit it, you hear the tick, and then it moves. It's not seamless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if that's just a priority within the programming or whatnot, or if that's just, the game engine.
What you could try maybe there is the controller intensity, so the reaction time gets a bit faster. Maybe that is something you'd put on low, but when I play with the controller and I set the controller intensity to really high, it gets really fast, and you always have to give like small tips to move like 180 circle.
Yeah, now, so I
It's just
am...
really hard to control everything.
Yeah, I am now at, for the sensitivity, I'm at the eye afterwards. So if I go any higher than that, like, yeah, exactly. You just barely tap it and you say, woo, I just did a 360. Like, oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're for speedruns, then that's necessary and you could get used to that. But yeah, as a game tester, sometimes you find a bug like at 10 hours in game, and then it says, yeah, you have to reproduce it and find out what the trigger for the bug is. And yeah, that's the job there. And then you have to do it as fast as possible. First of all, play from the beginning every step that you took exactly the same way. Actually, this is something that younger guys or women in my age don't see about the job. Everybody wants to become a game tester, but it's not like you think. You don't play what you want, you don't play the way you want, you play what they tell you and how often they tell you. Sometimes days, weeks, you play every time the same. And if you play like 20 hours, they say, all right, do the same thing one more time. That could be like in your head, like a really hard kick into your balls sometimes. But then that's your job. And you gotta love that.
It was one thing I actually kind of liked about when I was doing game testing when I was younger, because they would assign you a certain task, and it's that only certain task. Yet no point do you ever feel like you are getting overwhelmed because you are testing a whole section of code. No, this is the task that they want you to do. That's it. And as a boss, It is so much easier just to go to the guys and say, hey, yeah, we need this particular mechanic tested. I need somebody to do it in the water. I need somebody to do it up in different elevations. I need somebody to do it in you know what I mean? And that's all you do. You go around in different zones of that game, and that's all you do is you check. Or I love the jump tests. Jumping up hills. Oy. Like, see, you got to see, is there any spot where the player can break through the world? Like, I mean, I've been up and down so many mountains in my lifetime. Like, it's crazy.
If I'm being honest with you, there are many different ways that the company gave me to test games already. They gave me like bug lists from the bugs that already have been reported, and I have to, like, after an update of the developer, try and see if they are still there and follow a list and play like they tell me. This is something that I do, but I don't really enjoy it. What I enjoy the most is to try and break the game. That sounds stupid now, but trying to get the game to a crash, or on the PlayStation to trigger a blue screen or something in Farmers Dynasty, that was something that I just enjoy, to find clipping issues that I fall through the map and everything there were. And yeah, I just love that.
Thank you, Trucker. Keep going.
Getting the game to crash is, for me, the nicest way to test bugs and find bugs as well.
There's a lot of satisfaction when you get to go through and bust up the game, but there's more to it in the industry, right? So I mean, everybody loves playing the games. Everybody loves having like going, hey, I found this and this broke this and this, but very few people are willing to go back to take the time to create it, like recreate it, so that way they can be passed on to the developers or team that are working on it. So it's a lot easier for them to go, oh, it's this is the pattern. Oh, okay.
But you have to understand it, right?
Yeah.
This is something that you need to have a bit of knowledge for, or when I started there, I had to learn that. I had to remember every step that I took, and if it's like 2 days of playing, you still have to remember everything, and sometimes you can't record it, so you just have to remember it in your brain.
No, you can record it. You just make sure that it's done to an external source.
That's the thing. I always didn't. I played for days, and then I had to remember that. I was a bit stupid, but that way I
just keep it into so super low, super bad quality in that. But it's enough for you to be able to go back and look over it and go, oh, because I caught that and did that, that's what caused that to happen. Oh, instead of scratching your head for 6 hours trying to figure out what the hell did I do?
Absolutely. The one worst thing with being a game tester, at least in my company, this is like, in a funny way, I'm telling this right now. If you have a great day of testing, a great day for us testers is if you find a lot of bugs. That is great for us, because then what we can do is we can make sure that nobody else finds those bugs. So we did our job good. But on the other hand, everybody else in the community, in the office, hates you when you find like 10, 15 bugs. Everybody says like, why? That's no more work for us. But at least you did something good, and everybody knows that that is an important thing.
The other companies that I work for, they would turn it around, and they would actually, like, they would pay out bonuses for anybody not to find the bugs, but for fixing the bugs. So, like, if I could put in a bug report that was completely recreated, and so that the developer only had to go in, and what would normally take them, say, 8 hours to go through to find patterns and all that, but because I did that, I would get a bonus, because the company saved money and the times it took to pay the developers at a higher wage. I mean, because, bug testers, finding bugs, we now have the public for that, right? Which is fantastic. Early access. Before, like where I actually got started was in an office with 8 other guys on 4 couches and 8 computers, or 8 TV monitors. And we sat there, you played for about 10 hours. You got an hour briefing in the morning, and then you had an hour and a half afterwards that you filled out paperwork. And then you went home, came back, and did it again for 4 days straight, and then you had your 3-day weekend. But they paid us minimum wage to do it. Developers don't get paid minimum wage. These guys went to school. They deserve to get paid what they're worth. Right?
Absolutely.
So, so it was cheaper. But now with early access, in-house testing is for basically people of the company. You know what I mean? It's not an outside hire.
For finding bugs and everything, you have now the community that plays the game, and everybody, you have like a huge amount of people playing the game. If you have a good game, like for example, Lumberjacks, Dynasty, or Medieval, it was a huge base of from the community side, and everybody played it. But the other thing is that we had going then
Nice,
was
Luke.
the support. The support system. We had to have like 5 to 6 people in the support because was a massive traffic going on there. Everybody had every bug reported and everything, and you had to go through that all and answer emails and everything. And earlier, before, you were a tester, you were testing 10 hours a day, but now you have to answer support tickets. Even though you don't find the bugs yourself, you still have to like answer the people that find them. So still, you have to pay the work time and everything. So I don't know.
Yep. That would be the mod squad support teams and everything else that are out there. You know, like those are the guys that you got to hire when you get big. You know. All right. So what are we missing here, folks? Oh, the pantry.
Gabriel Wood, I have to create reproducible steps before I can even send a defect to the developers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the ticket is still mine to deal with, but my software is also a one bug project. All right. Yeah, but that's with us. If I can say with us here, GG, I don't know if that is with us, but I can say with me exactly. That is how this thing works. Before you even get to tell anybody, you have to make sure that it, first of all, is a mistake, and then you have to give them like a result why it is that way, so that you kind of take the work from the developers and can say them exactly, there is the reason, there is the trigger for the problem. Then they don't have to take that much time to find a solution for it. That's how game testing works.
No, you know, I tried to do my best. The hardest part, like for me, when I first started helping out with the Lumberjacks Dynasty, for instance, was just the sheer amount. You know, trying to, keep, run a household and try to do everything all at once with all the amount of bugs that were coming in. But I had to go through and recreate those bugs to make sure that my stamp was on it, saying that I tested it, there is an issue here, it's I was able to recreate by this, and then there's there's a lot of simple things where it's like tons of people like floating in the air. It's like, okay, now that's not something that I can recreate. However, if I can gather as many photos of all these people of where they are in an air or in the air, we might be able to see, is it something to deal with, when they respawn their z-axis is broken, or that type of thing, just to find a pattern, because the more information you have, the easier it is to find the pattern.
And another thing is then the bigger the game gets and the more of the bigger the project itself with the game. For example, Medieval Dynasty, there was so much testing required, but I think you can understand me there because you have been there. You've been there. The bigger the game gets, the more like world you have, the more NPCs you have, the more traffic you have in the game, the more the higher chances you have that there might be mistakes somewhere. So you have to try a lot more things. How stupid it may sound, but you have to do every stupid thing in order to find really everything.
Or you just add one asset, but its code is enough to mess up, 3 other things at once. And it's like, how does it do that? But it's all because it's a chain in ones and zeros.
Absolutely. And one thing that also happens a lot is once you have one small piece of I don't say that now, but maybe even an optical thing or not so good things or something. You say this is bad to the developer, and they change something in the coding or whatever, and then 3 other bugs appear that haven't been there before.
Yeah, all because, a new sequence has been created of those ones and zeros. It's like playing the speedruns for Super Mario. You jump over this Goomba, you squish this guy, you go underneath this tree, and poof, you're at the end level. Yeah, because it's just a combination of ones and zeros.
Also something that is kind of bad for us as game testers. For example, in Lumberjacks Dynasty, before this version that you're playing right now, there were some exploits. Exploits are things where you can like cheat almost, but legal. For example, I myself found an exploit where you can talk to persons, and once you answer one specific answer, you get like social points. So you could always like stay on the mouse button and farm social points, never ending. And I found that exploit, and they fixed that. So now it's gone, but still, that is something cool if you find something like that, like your own kind of cheat without needing to cheat in real life.
Gotcha. There you go, guys. Did that help out? There we go. I got Zomagi is now at full max, so
Am I now better hearable?
I could hear you just quite fine, but there is sometimes with OBS it just does not like to work well with Discord at all.
Absolutely.
So.
I know that. I also apologize for the sound at the background here. I have my PC like on the side of my desk with the van to the side of my microphone, so that might be a little loud out there.
I'm not catching any background noise. Your attenuation or whatever they call that on the microphone is really good. Huh.
Oh yeah, I had some filters there. Works perfect.
No, you're doing real good. No, you're using the Rode to its maximum potential.
Exactly. Can I ask you, what equipment are you using for your streams, for your videos and everything? What kind of setup do you have?
I have the Shure SM7B with a Go XLR mixer. So it's not the world's greatest mixer, but it does really well for what I need it to do. It's a good mixer for me, other than it's got a little issues with chat. Like, so the chat sliders that are on here will not pick up to anything for OBS. It only picks up from my headphones. It's only a volume control for my headphones.
So you have like a real hardware audio controller and everything next to you, or is it like in OBS only the settings?
That's the mix whoop itself right here.
Wow. Actually, I've been dreaming of buying myself something like that before, but I don't have the money for that. And people all over the world tell me that using just like these artificial programs and everything is just as good as that. But I just like the idea of having like a stream deck, and he has the Elgato stream deck as well.
Yep.
Now you have to show off, right, my dude? You have to show off.
Well, it's not really showing off. It's just I've been very, very lucky that anything that I've gotten for Christmas or anything, it's I've always pointed out the importance to my family that this is my outlet. Like
and
when
that
you
makes your quality better.
Exactly. Like when my doctors and everything are all going, yeah, you need an outlet. You know what I mean? Then it's like, okay, well, I play video games. They just kind of look at me and they're like, well, I'm like, look, dude. I take, years off when I play video games sometimes because it's just like, oh, there was nothing that good that came out at the time that it was interesting me. And they're like, oh, you're not one of those people that's going to, not do anything because, it's like you're going to neglect, your kid. You're not going to cook dinner because, I'm doing a raid. And like, hell no. I'll play my games after my kid's fed. And you know what I mean? All that type stuff. I'm not, like an addicted person to it, but it is my outlet. And, like they say, everyone's got to have an outlet, especially chronic pain patients.
For other people, it's like going to the gym or something. Everybody has something to do.
Anybody else seen an interesting? How do you plug it all in? I have a powered USB extender thingy, whatever they call it. It's got like 12 plugs on it. That's how I get everything to work.
Do you also have like an HDMI switch?
No. So what I do is I run 2 HDMIs and I run one lightning port. So
you are not like really a console streamer and everything, like capture card, everything? You don't use that?
No, I used to have a capture card. It was, big thing for 720p back in the day. But I don't have it installed on this PC.
I have like so many cables on my desk you can't imagine, and if I'm streaming from consoles like PlayStation or Xbox, I have the big screen and everything, and I have the HDMI switch for what console OBS should use right now, and I also always use like this.
Oh, yes,
this capture device here, and
it's a channel switcher, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't know if I can say this, but this worked really great. But it took me a long time to figure everything out. The more of a technique devices you have, the more issues you might have. That is also something.
4-way USB, that works just as well. All depends on your peripherals, right? Like,
Absolutely.
so for me, my first contract was for 6 months. I did a particular game. Then afterwards, when I got rehired on, I was brought on for a 4-month contract on peripheral testing, and I really liked that. I mean, I loved testing all the different peripherals. I loved it, and some things happened in there. I ended up making some suggestions. Things got changed around within the management, and after my 4-month contract, I was hired permanently. So then went through and, oh, here it is, found it. Went through, did all that with them and everything, and got myself to the point where they basically said, you can't grow anymore within the company. You pretty much reached your max potential that you can do within the company, unless I wanted to go and learn programming and things of the like that I just was not interested in doing. Woo! 10,000 social points for fixing the house. Stubborn perseverance and looking around does pay off, folks. That's one thing I had gotten so many of in the very beginning of the original early access launch was, their house is broken, there's pieces missing for fixing it. And I'm like going, what? I got my house to fix. Do you mind sending me your save file, please? Right, and then I'll go through and I'll take a screenshot of like 6 different areas, and I go, I don't even think this is half the stuff that you're missing. Right? I was like, I'm not trying to be rude, but
the house at Farmers Dynasty, I had so many times the moment where I was like, the lower. Do you play Farmers Dynasty?
oh me, no, not at all. No, I only have like 1,600 hours in it.
How dare me task? Master of Farmers Dynasty, please forgive me.
500 videos on YouTube. Yep.
All right. Stop it. All right. So,
Hey, Mommy Bear,
you
welcome. Oh, what's that?
So at the lower end of the house, you have like this gray. How do you call the thing that's between bricks and everything? The English word?
Oh,
In German we say
mortar.
beton.
Mortar.
Like what?
Mortar?
Mortar. All right, you have at the lower end also only the mortar pieces in red, and I always forget like one
I'm
piece of
sorry.
that.
I thought you meant the gray stuff that goes between the bricks. No.
Yes.
A foundation. Foundation.
Foundation. You know, at the ground of the house, there's like one small piece which is like gray before the wall starts.
Yeah,
and this
you can put
also
brick
be
on it.
broken.
Yep.
Absolutely. Oh goddamn! I played so many hours in this game, yet still I never managed to get the house done without one. Where is it? This moment, it comes so often, but also that is a kind of funny thing.
I
Because
so
that
miss
is what-
having my tile in the basement of Farmers Dynasty. Aw. Only Peanut and I were the only 2 people that had it. And because people are watching our YouTube videos. And I tell you, I had gotten so many comments about that. Sounds good, Mike. Glad to have you back, my man. But just like everybody was going, how do you have tile in there? Like even Peanut was having to put in his videos too, going, yeah, I don't know how this happened, like but apparently the very, very, very first version that came out, you could put tile in it, and it kept it afterwards, even when they changed it so you couldn't have tile in the house, you couldn't lay it down anymore. Ours stayed. So it was awesome to have this tile. It looks so good down there, but unfortunately it was a breaker, right? So they had to pull it. So it was a code issue. So which the smartest thing to do was to pull it. But, oh man, it was just so funny, just getting all these comments going, how do I get this tile down on my floor? You have it, and it's like, unfortunately, it has been removed from the game. Like, well, why do you still have it? And I'm like, because it's a visual now. It's not been programmed. It's just visual. There's no programming in it anymore.
Yeah. But things like that, if you don't really manage to repair something, or if you just search for things and then you find them, and I'm a person, I freak out very easily. I really easily get like, why is this happening to me all the time? And like I'm sitting there in my stream and people are like, ha, I pooped my pants because of him being so funny. People, and that sometimes catches me even more. Like then I'm like, oh, don't you dare say something. Hi. Yeah, I guess that is something that I'm known for. I can be really.
I can get overwhelmed. I can get overwhelmed.
Really?
Yeah, I can, but I try to do my best to try to think my way through it is the best way that I can say it. It's like, oh, okay, well, God damn it, all right, fine, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and see what you say now.
Stop it. That way you don't need the demon filter for your voice. You don't need that anymore.
Well, actually, the sound effects that are on there are really just an added bonus that are there. It's not something that would have made or broke me from purchasing one. It's just it's there just to have a little bit of fun with every once in a while. Like yesterday there. I mean, I haven't used it today because yesterday was unexpected for you. Right, so your reactions would be, your reactions would be, more candid, on the spot, improvisational. Whereas now that you know about it and you've had your night's sleep on it, there's just no longer that same effect.
Well, thank you for leaving that away from me.
Yeah, no worries.
I really
no worries.
appreciate that.
Hey Shay, what's up, Larry? What's up, Larry? Oh, solar panels. We're going to have to see if those are available in here. That was a great addition, by the way, on Farmers Dynasty. That really made things look really spiffy in there. I'm very tempted to say whoever did the artwork on this now needs to go over to Farmers Dynasty and do an update.
Bob says his reaction was priceless. Who does he mean? Your reaction or what?
Yours.
What reaction?
Yours reactions to my sounds yesterday. Yep.
Yeah, that was absolutely real.
Yeah.
When you first kicked in with this demon voice, it was like, what's going on?
Yeah,
here?
you took your headphone off and you're looking around and everything like, what the hell? And you're like,
is there something behind me or anything? I don't want to get killed here. Live on stream, that would be really bad.
Hey,
Yeah,
Mommy Bear,
could
thank
you-
you so much for giving up your Fridays for Mike. We really appreciate it. We have so much fun playing multiplayer every Friday night that thank you very, very much. Mommy Bear is Mike's wife, I believe.
Mummy Bear is what? I didn't really hear you now.
Oh, Mommy Bear in my chat is AO
Yeah.
Mike's wife, I believe. So,
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
So the community is also in real life very, very community kind of.
yeah, that's, like I said, it's amazing. I have never come across a group this way. I've been around a lot of stream teams. I have never been around, a stream team, they call themselves community. No, now I've been part of this place. Now this is a community. It's, my kid at any time can sit down and watch an AO Mike video and a Deuce video, and I have no issues with it. I the only issue that I have is hey, wait for me to start. I don't want to miss it. Come on.
Popcorn, wait for me.
Yeah. So, that's the only issue I have. It's very family. I can't speak highly enough of everything that this community does. It's crazy. It's so many people, and yet everybody, I can't say works together. We all love together is the best way to put it. It's crazy. It's not something that you get very often, and I'm going to cherish it and all these people that we've met for as long as I can, because it's amazing.
Yeah, I already see that. I'm here for the second time, and I feel overwhelmed by your community. Like, for real, I can only hope that one day I get a community like this myself.
Oh,
But
you're a
really
part of
lucky
it.
guy.
You're definitely a part of it. Just got to start posting up your stuff. I wish we had more German viewers. I wish we had more viewers all around the world. I mean, it's just because there's a language barrier doesn't mean that you're not a good streamer. You know what I mean? Not just yourself, but I mean, overall in the big scheme of things, for all people. It's just that you have a different, what's the word? Maybe market for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, you're still a streamer, and you still have a quite, I just wish I could offer more.
I didn't know. I'm already happy that you invited me here. This is like a big thing for me.
Oh, and I'm not even big at all. I mean, we're just here always having fun.
For
That's
me,
it.
Dude, for me, you are really big. I came when we had the call. I heard your voice for the first time and was like, "Wow, his voice is really deep." And then I walked downstairs like a guinea pig jumping around.
Yeah.
I just called him, and she was like, "Who called you?" I said, "GaminGargoyle, who wants me to be in the stream with him?" And I was like super hyped. I was super fangirling you. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you. I mean, that feels good, but at the same time, it's kind of like, huh? Like, really, I mean, it's a stream, it's games, it's good times, it's. I mean, you're not going to make a postcard out of it. Well, I might for my thumbnail, but I mean, that was before the new art came through. Y'all playing along with me? Oh, excellent, Charlotte. For everybody that just popped in here, guys, community things. Yeah, I figure why not? Let's let's make some funny thumbnails here. Why didn't everybody? I mean, right now I was thinking of a sheep in front of a waterfall, but not only that. Let's see what else you can throw at me in the Discord for pictures that I can turn into thumbnails that are funny. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm going to let you use your ingenuity, your innovation to surprise me with what you guys have, and then I'm going to try to turn that around and surprise you guys with ideas. Yeah, go ahead, Marvin. Go.
Thanks, teacher. I think it would be really cool and funny if you I could go back into my save game and let my guy, or you could let your guy sit down on the bench and like do the zombie kind of thing. Put that on the thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
That would be quite funny, I guess.
Yeah, that was good, actually. Yeah, actually.
The chat was like, the zombie filter, what's going on there?
Yeah, no, and then when you went down into the when you're talking down into the camera, the way you had done it, it was perfectly suited for like documentaries when they're like, and now the lion stalks her prey. And it was like, it was perfect. It was just like, like, yeah, it was Audubon wildlife video, like it was perfect.
National Geographic wants to hire me for the next year.
Yeah, there you go, man. Oh man, I'd take that job. I'd take that job in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Like Inner World, National Geographic 2022.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. I was shocked. I started looking around here for voice agents, like voice acting agents.
Yeah.
There's not many here.
Really?
Yeah, like I found 2, and one of them only deals with doing like what the heck is it? It's like scholastic books. Like basically, they just do voiceovers for like audio books for the blind type of thing for schools.
Yeah.
But they don't do any other outside sourcing. They don't do any games. They don't do, any documentary, movie, film, nothing like that, right? So it's like, okay. Let's see what else is out there, Don't want to be stuck in a small market.
Before I came to Toplets, my dream was to become like a voice actor. I always try to get my voice as deep as possible, and like these really vibrating deep voices. I can't do that now because I have no water. But the weird thing is that always when I try to talk really deep, my face looks like really stupid. That comes with it, but in this business, you just give your voice, not your skills in acting or not your looks. That is something that is really good about it. And I was really happy to hear that once I start like my apprenticeship is what you call it in English, right? Those 3 years of learning a job?
Oh, yes, apprenticeship or internship, yes.
Internship, apprenticeship, yeah, I learned that from Patrick, my best friend here. And once I would do my apprenticeship at Toplets, if I get the chance to do that, I hope one day I get the chance. They told me that maybe if I keep working there, I would also one day definitely meet like a voice acting studio, because that is one big part of the games and synchro studios. And maybe I would get to know a few people there.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Or maybe even, I'd be really looking forward to that, but
but it's unfortunate that that's backwards thinking. I call a spade. It's backwards thinking. In this day and age, we have the ability that you can buy a studio in a box. People are paying other companies to have a small one room that's been padded up for $300 to $500 of acoustic paneling and a little bit of sweat equity.
these acoustic things don't even bring that much of a result in my eyes.
It depends on the ones that you get. You get what you pay for, right?
Yeah,
like
if you have like $10 for this padding, it doesn't give you anything. Then you just invest $100 more in a good microphone and some good software. Then you get more than better results than that. In my eyes.
Exactly. You know, like we are in a beautiful technological era. We can pass on information and educate people with very little words and very little power to do so. Like, the ability to... we as humans had no idea that, you know, the ones and zeros take nothing for energy to, you know, blast around the universe, for Christ's sakes, really. It's crazy. So, anybody can learn how to now make a soundproof room properly. Whereas 25 years ago, you would actually have to have been in the industry for a long time and learned it by the school of hard knocks of going, you changed something? Oh, that made a big difference. How did I do that? Why? Why did I do that? Now we've got it all figured out why. Now you just got to put it into practical use. A small room in a topless basement, bringing in voice actors is probably going to be way cheaper, I would think, for any company.
This is also my opinion on the music that happens nowadays of the whole business.
Record labels ago,
years ago, I'm not even talking about record labels, but years ago we had great singers. We had like 1 or 2 singers in every year that were like really known and were really talented. And then like 5 to 10 years ago, the first few singers with technical support with autotune and everything kicked in. And nowadays...
I have autotune. I'm not kidding you. Check it out.
Yeah.
Do you believe in... Oh, I gotta turn on the...
Gotta turn in life after love. Like, it's... I have it attached. Like,
I can change it to different ways with hard to. Like,
all right.
Turn that off. That sounds a lot better. Like, it's...
So, yeah, what I was talking about, my opinion is not that everybody who is who uses autotune is stupid. Some people may think that when I say what I think about that, but that's not my opinion. My opinion is that nowadays every stupid 10-year-old could like sit in his room, get a microphone from a headset, get a good software for free like Audacity and everything. You can use that already.
Voice meterings, yep.
Yeah, every stupid person on this planet could like write a text, wrap that in. You don't even have to rap good. You just like put autotune over that, and then you earn millions by uploading that to some music stores. And now everybody can do music, and nobody's really talented anymore in my eyes. This is something that we totally lost.
Live talent is very rare. It always has been.
Absolutely.
But the need for music of different styles will always be there. So there is a market for those people, but there's also a market for those with the talent to be able to do it live as well. And that just makes their talent that much more, I would say, like expensive to get. You know, like to get Metallica on stage versus to get, you know, Skrillex. Who's going to pay more? You know, you're gonna pay way more to get Metallica on a stage than you ever will to get Skrillex.
Yeah.
You know, like, not saying that Skrillex is a bad artist or anything. It's just that there's no natural singing talent that they can do it without all that equipment.
Yeah, also that is, in my eyes, that has earned a lot of respect, because Skrillex was one of the first guys that ever had like the huge success without singing himself. And I think that he himself puts a lot of work in his results and everything. But what I just thought about,
You betcha, Larry. I also I'm reading all my chats at the same time. I haven't been answering all of them, but I am reading them and trying to make sure that when people enter and exit and all that, that they know that I know that they're here, that I acknowledge it, that, you know, that type of thing. So, yeah, they know.
Greetings to everybody watching right now. So also from my side, I'm sorry I am talking really a lot today.
It's good.
But what I was thinking about, what people were writing that they want your voice in a game. One thing that I think people could start off with, do you know those Lego games for PlayStation? Those Lego Harry Potter and stuff?
Okay, yeah, hold on. I think I have a Star Wars Batman or something like that on Epic. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right. In those games, I don't know. In Harry Potter for sure. In those Lego games, the characters don't talk. The characters don't do like, huh?
Yeah, okay, so... Okay, so really, in this day and age, a lot of the problems when we send off scriptings to these voice studios and that... Okay, so, going from my personal experience back 20 years ago, when we would send off a script to them, they would come back with it, and it would be in the total wrong intonation for what we wanted for the quest scripting or whatever it was. It's like... we'd go in there and we would say something like, we'd give the full description, of how we want it said, and when we would get it back, it would just not fit the scene entirely, right? And it's like, we just paid $160 an hour to have to get it redone. But with today's day and age, you could have somebody, like, within office who's just like, okay, so this is how we want it done? All right. Turns to his computer and he's like, well there, Jake. Things are not good today. Could you help us out over with the pigs? But, and then that soundbite gets sent over to the studio who's like, oh, hey, Jeff. Yeah, it's not. It's more of a, it's softer toned, not as hard toned, like as that they would have done originally. It's more that intonation.
Yeah, and also this is something about voice acting. I really like that once you trained it, and it is something that you can achieve by training. Some people get that naturally. They were born with this talent to change the voice in massive ways. But you can in some ways also train it, like softer voice, higher voice, head voice, chest voice, and you always have to know exactly what the company wants, what you're talking for them, in what kind of context it is. And one thing that I could say now, because I'm working in a game company, I had the opportunity already to hear some voice actors for trailers and everything before an official game gets released. Once you have a pre-alpha version, there is made a trailer, sometimes even CGI animated. Mm-hmm. For example, for Wild West Dynasty, there has already been a trailer.
Yeah,
and for that,
and there's probably very little outside of concept, I would think, at this point.
Exactly. But talking about the trailer, for those smaller things, you also need voice actors. And there was one that we already knew, and he sent my boss a voice message, like the data with his whole session. He was sitting on his chair for 10 minutes and speaking the same sentence in different voices. I was impressed. From one day he was like, today in the world of West Dynasty or something else, a really deep and crackling voice. Then the other voice was he was smoking for years. Then he was in this really high and soft, really high in the world of Wild West Dynasty. It was amazing to see this process and where people can get. And this was
the key tag. Did they use the key tag in the world of? Because if they did that, I actually know who the hell you're talking about. Send you those bites. He does the same thing for every audition. That is awesome.
Yeah, but this guy's so talented. You gotta admit that.
Oh man, really the sound booth studio and everything he's got is crazy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, from what I heard, didn't Vision, the guy who played Vision in the movies, just called in his parts? They took it over the phone and used the technology of today to give him the A- or the A- room sound.
Actually, this is something I don't know about.
Yeah, no, that is crazy that we have the capability now that we don't even need to have a studio in a box anymore.
If you call in over a phone, you can also use loads of filters, but this is something you also have to have knowledge about, because if I should do that now, I couldn't.
I mean, you'd have to take the time to get educated about it. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Hey, Rascal, doing really, really good, guys. Like I said, I am not ignoring chat here. I'm making sure that there are any questions that are directed to me. I am trying to answer them. Mike, that would be... I have no issues, man. And Mommy Bear wants to tell you to go sit your butt down so she can have a couple races on Wreckfest. Well, then I guess you're going to be sitting down. So, yeah, no, more of the merrier, as always, and such, guys. So, yeah, I'm definitely keeping up with it here.
Actually, one funny inside story from the company I could tell is that we were thinking about, at least from a German kind of side, for the game Medieval Dynasty. the voice of Unigost.
Mhm.
We wanted to have the German voice. There is a voice actor in German from an American or British, I don't know where he comes from, actor. You know Die Hard?
Yes, yes.
The movies?
Yep.
How is this guy called again? He is this guy who is like the actor with without hair. He's like really known.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, yeah. There we have a German voice that is spoken by a German guy. He is also speaking the commercials for MediaMarkt and the Technic shops and stuff. He's like a really
Nice.
smoky,
He's got himself.
hardcore
Nice.
voice. Yeah, and it was a cool idea that we had to give Unigost like this well-known voice of Bruce Willis.
That would be
As
cool.
a matter, yeah, as a kind of also as a commercial kind of thing, like get that to the outside, to the community. We have Bruce Willis in our game.
That would be neat.
huge.
That would be so neat. Mhm.
I will play the game more and over again.
Let's see, what's Mike saying there? Mike, say now. Hey man, the more people who play, the more fun we have. It seems we've been having so much fun doing Wreckfest on every Friday night. We'll be switching over to Ranch Sim on March 5th. We'll be running the Syndicate server of that as well. So we're hoping to get a dedicated server up and going as soon as possible. Yeah, so you know, with the way that the world's going right now, I really, really hope to see Wild West Dynasty as a multiplayer game. I think it would hurt more of an overall public image if it was just left as single player. But that is my opinion, and I know that you're off the clock in that, so I know you can't say too much about what is coming and what's been talked about. But that's my opinion, and I think that's the general opinion of the community as well.
Gosh, this is like really heavy for me right now, and I'm
No,
known
and
to
that's the
be
thing.
like
Don't ever put yourself out. I would never ever break my contracts with the NDAs. I mean, I have a 33-page
I will not
NDA.
break my contract.
Exactly.
I have a contract with my with my company not to tell things that are secret.
Yeah.
But I am known to be like a talker, and all I can say is that I have already seen a version of Wild West Dynasty. And all I can tell you guys is that, you know, Lumberjacks Dynasty, you know, Medieval Dynasty, Wild West Dynasty is gonna be a next big step. There is so much work put into this, so much effort in making the graphics and everything. It is so amazing to see what happens there. I came into the company in the middle of everything, but I can see now the game from the start to the end. And all I can say, guys, the game will be amazing, and you will play it and you will love it. Like, no doubt everybody on this world will love this game. You will be really amazed by it, I can promise.
No, I'm looking forward to it myself personally. I
Absolutely.
really have been looking forward for... I was really hoping that Red Dead was going to be a lot more co-op friendly. I mean, if they would have a just strictly way of doing PvE, but add in like that the Dynasty lifestyle feeling, then I probably would have had that on my channel for quite a lot of time as well, because that to me is a time period that has not been done very well by any company that's out there right now. They do not have any really good AAA quality playstyle mechanics of a Wild West simulator lifestyle type thing. You know, I could totally get, you know, fighting off, you know, the NPCs and things like that as groups together, but not constantly just always being raped by gangs of 16 on other server groups and stuff, right? It drives you nuts.
Yeah, but multiplayer would be phenomenal for Wild West Dynasty, and I don't know if it is that way. And just because I'm working for the company and I'm saying this right now, it does not at all mean that it will be like that. But I, as a streamer from Germany, as a person that is here in the stream, think that there will be a multiplayer in Wild West Dynasty.
Oh, that would
I'm
be,
almost sure about that.
That would be sweet. I mean, quite honestly, you know, for, you know, overall as the company as a whole, I would really hope that, you know, multiplayer is being seriously considered. We are now in the age of instant communication. There the ability now for base codes to have multiplayer built into it right from the very beginning is so crucial. Trying to bring it in afterwards creates so much lost time, so much lost revenue for the company, just trying to squash those bugs out, that it's inefficient. And I can understand why a lot of companies don't add multiplayer after they find out that their game is going to be a hit. Because it's just, you can't try to fix it all and still get it out on time because it wasn't there with base code. You know, it depends on the type of game, how big and how detailed it gets, but the bigger you go, the base code's got it, you know, the higher the base code's got to be.
Yeah, and what I can promise is as soon as there is a, first of all, playable version of Wild West Dynasty, I'm gonna stream it as hell. I'm not gonna stream anything else like that. I'm a huge fan of the Wild West kind of scenery and everything. I just love that. Starting off when I saw Mr. Nobody, Bud Spencer, Terrence Hill, the movies.
Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah.
And Mr. Nobody, you know the movie?
I know the movie. I haven't seen it. Now, I haven't seen very many TV shows or movies in my life. I'm the type of guy that's like, okay, I'm done streaming. I'll go out to the garage and I'll go work out in the garage for a while. I'm that type.
Out in the garage, then?
I'm that type of mechanically minded person that's like, all right, I'm done my outlet. I'm done my video games. It's time to go do, something else. And, and that something else could be, working on creating art, learning something. The last thing I'm going to do is to sit down and watch a documentary just to watch the documentary. I'll watch the documentary when I'm waiting for my video to either upload and render, or while I'm ending.
When I want to fall asleep.
Oh, I can't. My brain instantly switches on and I start learning. I turn on a documentary and I'm right in. I'm all in. Yeah. My brain, I listen in and that's it. My brain is just osmosing everything it's hearing.
That's a gift. That's a really gift.
Morning, Christy. Yeah. Kids hated me in school.
Could you please do that again?
Yeah. What's that?
Could you please say that again? Just the way you were saying it.
Morning, Christy. Yeah.
That was like really funny right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no
I'm
worries.
not making fun of you. But you're like the funniest dude I ever met on Twitch on the other streaming platforms so far.
I am very animated. I'm a very animated type of person. I get tons of adrenal surges due to the chronic pain condition. So I'm bouncy, right? I'm very bouncy is the best way to put it. Just doing, 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 doing. And it's hilarious. People are like, oh, you're all riled up. And it's like, oh, you haven't even seen me riled up yet. Nope. Today I'm just on a bit of an adrenaline rush, and I actually have to seriously slow myself down. And it's funny when I start talking to all these doctors and that, and they're like, every time you move or whatever, and you got to go see a new doctor, and they look at your file, and they don't ever really look at it. But when, it's like, no, doc, you ain't listening. No, you didn't listen. Okay, I'm just going to sit here until you actually do your job and read my file. Oh, and by the way, I hope you got 5 hours. I'll go buy us lunch while you start reading. And, half the what? And then they start looking at it, and they're like, oh, yeah. Dude, yeah, unless you're an expert, you ain't going to get it, dude. Yeah.
I think there's this thing about you that is almost the same about me, right? In the streaming kind of side, you have the opportunity to be like really funny, like really full of adrenaline and really entertaining and also funny in the same way. And on the other hand, from one to another moment, you can switch around and be really informative because you have a great knowledge about certain things, and you can be really serious and talk with a lower voice, be just like informative streamer. And I try to do the same, and so far I think I managed that.
Oh no, you've been doing fantastic. That Bandicoot video that you did there, where you're showing about crossing over the bridge and all.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that was very well done. You had all the right tones for all the different sets of segments for informing, and also basically for having the fun part with it at the same time.
Wait, you saw that?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Oh.
I don't stop, man. I'm always moving. I don't stop. Do we want? No, we'll save our monies for now. Did we finish the house? No, I don't miss much, man, in life. I don't miss much. I gotta do the barn and the workshop. All right. Yeah.
GaminGargoyle saw my videos.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
If you're on my recommended Rascal list, I'm probably going to watch it. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much a guarantee.
Holy.
Yep. No, and that's the thing.
Such an honor.
You know, like, is Zomi's going old school gaming? Yeah. Zomagi's got a lot of good stuff on his channel. It is in German, though. There are, a lot of German things that are on there. I will admit to that. But, I mean, at the same time, intonation, tone, entertainment, those are all things that you can see without needing the language,
Yeah, and I think also, especially when you are streamer or gamer in this gaming section, people all over the world can understand you sort of, no matter what language you're talking in, right? I, for example, I don't speak French. I can speak German, English, a bit of Greek, and a bit of Chinese, but really not that much. German and English are my main languages, but I
Parlez-vous en
understand
français?
almost...
No? Oui?
Oui. Even though you're watching a gamer play a game and still you understand, you see what he is doing, how he's reacting, if he's like good or in a bad mood and everything. And one thing that I hate myself for a bit is once something really good happens in my stream. By the way, you are switched off, GG, again.
Yes, I am partaking in the genuine imitation of the artificial nicotine product.
All right. So yeah, all right. Yes. Okay.
There it is. Knew we were missing a piece here. Yeah. No, the YouTube's got this thing. Wow, dude, man, that would Gigi's face would just flare up. Gone. There'd be no fur left on his face whatsoever with a lighter like that.
Yeah. I almost burnt my hair there. The thing that I hate myself about is that once in my stream, I think if you saw my videos, you already know that in my last streams I did a lot of Pokemon stuff.
Yeah, so I was checking out the cards and all that.
Yeah, my last video on my YouTube channel was like where I found this $886 card, which was a record for me. And I was like, first I was not believing it, and I just uploaded a 5-minute video about my reaction. And live on stream, I was yelling around.
Yeah, you were dancing.
And everything.
Nope.
And my microphone couldn't capture that. My microphone just was like, nope.
Nope. You peaked it. You peaked it. It said
Absolutely.
no. I'm not gonna program that out. No.
Yeah, absolutely. Yet still, this video is the best clicked video on my channel so far.
Oh man, my best video is like the most clicked video that I've ever had is my absolute worst. This was back when I first started off. I had one of those plastic white antenna mics that sat on your desk, like it looked like a little alien antenna sticking up. So, and oh my god, it's like you can hear G. Okay, guys, we're gonna go over there. And then you got the game music just, and you can't hear me worth shit. Like the most informative video I've ever had in the comments. Like I had to put in the comments what the hell I did in order for it, and to this day it still works. Nobody can. It is the best way to make money for Car Mechanic Simulator.
I really have to say something right now about the chat. I'm absolutely not into smoking. I would say I consider myself as a good guy. I'm not going to any parties or clubs or discos. I don't drink alcohol. I don't consume any drugs or anything. Instead of going out, I'm just staying at home and learning stuff or streaming or whatever. But I promised myself never to consume any kind of drugs. But Angela just said, if they ever invent a Dr. Pepper vape, GG would be in heaven.
Oh, hell yeah!
If they ever invited a Dr. Pepper vape, I would definitely start smoking. Like, for real, I couldn't help myself. If that would happen, that's the only thing that I would consume. For real.
No, I could see that. I could see that. I mean, for the longest time and everything, like I grew up on, here they have what was called a DARE program. It was a anti-drug policy. Was brought in by the Reagans during their rule. And basically I was, totally dead set against any of those things and all that, right? And then later on in life as an adult, they put me on all these medications and everything. And they just about killed shut down my liver and kidneys. They gave me what's called a serotonin syndrome and completely rewired my brain. To find out that in the end, believe it or not, that the CBD in cannabis has the greatest medicinal effect for my disorder. Yeah. And I mean, I was like, you're telling me that drugs are the answer? I'm sorry, but you've just lost all my respect from the doctors, right? And it wasn't until the doctor, he's like, look here. And he gave me a whole bunch of links to medical journals out of Israel. It really changed my mind on the subject. And yeah, so I've been now a patient for over 6 years on CBDs and a little bit of THC. You do have to have a little bit of THC in order to make the CBD more effective. But you're not sitting there like, I mean, do I sound like, hey guys, what's up?
Yeah, like Bob Marley.
Yeah, you know, like,
No.
you know, it's not like I'm smoking myself stupid. You know, like I'm smoking myself into good health.
Just because you are, this is my opinion on everything. I never will ever smoke myself, and I won't even try it because that is just my opinion, and people around me respect that.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
I know
exactly.
a lot of people. I know a lot of people that do like shisha, e-cigs, vapes, and even grass, like joints and stuff. And I sometimes knew people for years, and then I found out that they were for years consuming like drugs that are illegal. Sort of. I don't talk about that now. Like grass is illegal in German. Sort of, right?
Oh, you guys don't have a medical program?
Yeah, we do, but it's really like uncommon that, for example, Tourette.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Some Tourette people legally can have it, but yeah, like consuming it or having more than a specific amount of grass with you is illegal. So yeah.
Question:
and
how long has this door been in this barn?
Forever.
Oh man, I used to always run out and around. I just happened to notice it yesterday, and I was like, "Eh? What? When did this come in?" Okay.
No. Yeah, so I know a lot of people that consume drugs and everything, and none of them are like stupid or anything. This is, in my eyes, a big thing that people think, which is really, in most of the cases, not true. They think people smoke, people consume drugs or anything, bad people, don't want to have something to do with them. People can be really good and really intelligent or have their reasons for consuming things like that. And most of the people you can see out on the street, you don't think they have something, but they do. You couldn't tell.
No.
That is something that definitely has to, people have to understand that just because people do something that you don't approve or something, or you don't like, or you wouldn't do yourself, they are not stupid or bad people or anything.
No, and that's one thing that I really, you know, like, there we go, that really got me was, people looked at me differently afterwards. You know, and it's like, oh, you could be, you know, you're not working to your fullest potential, and it's like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm actually getting more done. I'm not sitting there, you know, moaning and crying in my sleep because of the excess pain that I've been, you know, withholding throughout the whole day. Like when I go to sleep, actually my heart rate and blood pressure goes up because I maintain it mentally lower. Like it's like, you know how like a sniper stops his heart, like slows his heart down so he can take the shots in between beats. I kind of do the same thing. But I just breathe. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I start feeling wound up, and it's just like, you know, you just, okay, just don't let it, and then you can just start feeling the blood pressure start lowering and lowering. I go to sleep though, she jacks back up.
Yeah, the thing is that I understood in my life pretty early is, for my whole life I have known people that consume drugs, sort of. But one thing that I had to understand, that I really understood, is that I myself would never do that, and I myself also don't support other people in that. I wouldn't help them with that, or say, all right, I'll go buy you some cigarettes or anything from the gas station or something. I wouldn't do that, but I tolerate it. I don't say, no, stop that here or anything, or no, I don't want to do anything with you, you're not my friend anymore. Everybody can do what they want, and people, you have to look at people not for what they do, but for what they are.
Exactly. Judge people for the actions towards themselves and others. You know, don't judge people by, you know, looks or stereotyping that.
Absolutely.
most definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, did you guys get rid of my little jumpy spot? You got rid of my jumpy spot. All right. How about over here?
It's bitch.
Oh, yeah, you guys
PL.
redid all this fronting here, too. That's good. Okay. Okay.
It's not my fault. I didn't do that.
No.
Yes, I did. No. Patrick just wrote that we should change the subject from drugs and everything to something else.
Oh, yep. Nope. And that's totally all right. I totally understand.
Yeah.
Being Canadian and all that, we've changed our policies and that on it as well. So that's not a problem. Yep. So basically, though, in the end, with the going back to the voiceovers and stuff, then, you know, I mean, I could easily see companies nowadays opening up where, like, for example, for doing early access stuff before they send out the voiceover work and that to be done by the professional companies, to have it done in-house easier nowadays than it is to, you know, try to hope for the best of getting, you know, the first cuts right from these other companies. Because you just end up spending so much more for these companies to, you know, go back and redo a line,
absolutely.
you know. It's just, I'm all about, you know, getting the money to the people that deserve it. You know what I mean? Yeah, and these companies, these voiceovers, they deserve their money, but we don't need to be sitting there constantly giving them more work for stuff that they really don't need to do twice.
Angela, Zomagi, sometimes when you try to get a log out of the log bin, you can't reach it. Yes, and could you maybe write into the chat what vehicle or what trailer in this situation that you just described are using?
So
Because, yeah.
Before we were having issues here with this particular log drop over here, and you couldn't reach them, so you had to basically drive your green tractor, put the nose into this wall, and then you could reach them. That was the workaround that they had at the time. So I don't know whether or not now, though, with the update, if
I think
they don't,
that
yeah, I don't think they go into the rock anymore, so we should be able to grab them at all times.
Yes, I think that once you have the really old, like you can, like in the first mission, you can get this really old green, like wood trailer for also collecting the round woods, the logs and everything. This one is rather small, but once you get more money and everything, then you can grab bigger ones at the car stores, and those have longer arms and better like teeth. So I think with the longer or bigger ones, you first of all can store more logs on top of that, and you can reach further into this thing. So I think with this vehicle, with this specific vehicle, yeah, there might be the thing that you can't reach it with the basic one, with the really old one, but with the newer one, you should be able to do that. But I really don't know how that is now with the update. For all I know, in the 3 hours video that I recorded yesterday before our stream, GD, wanted to say something there?
No, I was just laughing, going 3 hours before and then another 3.5 hours afterwards. I hope you had a good sleep.
I had such a pain in the back you can't imagine. You can't imagine. Even though I have like a gaming chair here that is really supportive and everything, I'm still like always sitting like this on the table talking to the microphone and everything, and that gives me a hell of a pain in the back. But yeah.
Yeah, I just asked your
stage,
community to remind you to take what I call health checks. You know, Luke is fantastic for that for me. He reminds me, you know, is like, dude, you've been going an hour and a half. It's time. Yeah, you know what? You're right. It is time. You know, I got to get up and I got to stretch around. And, you know, once we set that expectation with everybody, it got to be a routine. It was good. You know, people were going, you know, like, before, you know, it's like, okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a 10-minute break. I'm going to go do my medications, let the dogs out. And you come back and you got less than a third of your viewers, right? You know, they all went off and did their own things and all that, right? But now people are actually joining in on it. They are then themselves stretching in that as well. And I've gotten so much great feedback from people going, yeah, you know what, gee, I was able to go out and, you know, I did this today and that today. And I didn't realize it before that, you know, sitting down for that long was actually hurting my back. And overall, you know, my overall health is better now. It's like, sweet. I know I got to do it. So, hey, join me.
And one thing that is really important that I also understand now is that in case you're working in an office or as a game tester all the time, one good thing that I have to admit is that we have in our office tables that are portable for driving up and down, so you can not only work sitting but also standing, which is straighten up your spine again and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good thing to have in an office. But as well, if I'm sitting here at home, it is really good sometimes to have a small break and just do some stretching and everything, and then like crack everything one time like this. Then everything's great again. But when you have an office job or sit along over the day, you always have to have also some strengthening training or some general weightlifting or sport activities after all. Because if you just sit every day and don't do nothing after work or something, you will kill yourself sometime. In your further ages, you will walk around like this.
Yeah, you'll be all
Nobody
crumpled up.
wants that.
Yep. Believe it or not,
Absolutely.
I've always, since I was about, I don't know, 8 or 9, I guess about like grade 3 or 4, I've always, whenever I've sat down at a desk, I've always stopped myself from leaning against the back. And then what I do is I sit forward and my sternum to the groin, I tense up that entire muscle pack. So that way I just sit here, and even though my muscles are tense, I'm actually being held up forward just from my abdominal muscles. So I have no strain on my back whatsoever.
Yeah, what I sometimes like to do while the stream even, I quickly hit in the break screen, shut off my microphone, and then go over into the other room to the punching bag and do some boxing, or
Hey, yeah.
after work. Yeah, I do a lot of sports actually. I might not look like this because right now it's Corona lockdown and you can't do anything. I play basketball.
We've all
volleyball, and
noticed
everything.
that over the last, I'd say probably year, since you got more on cam and all that, you're putting on your shoulder mass. You're getting shoulder mass. So you have been working. Yeah, you can tell that for sure. Your upper shoulder mass in comparison to your younger videos or newer older videos. Yeah. Yeah, your newer videos, you can definitely see that your upper shoulders have been, you've been working those out.
Yeah, definitely. Since my 16th year, I've been going to the gym a lot, and yeah, I've been really picking up a lot of mass, which was really helpful also for me to have like an office job, but also like come out with getting all my energy out that I can't let out over the day. And yeah, going to the gym and like eating a lot is really good for me because I have the outcome that way as well. Like I'm really chilled now that after the gym, and now that the lockdown is coming. First of all of this is freaking me out, and also like this all this shit is coming because of lockdown, because of you not being able to do any sports. The only thing that you can do, I'm quite lucky because in my basement here at the house I still have like weights and everything, and the only thing that I can train really good is like bench press. And that is why the shoulders and everything with the things, that is what they are coming from.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Are you doing any sports or anything?
I was an Olympic wrestler for many years. I qualified as a bronze finalist for Canada to go into the into the Olympics. But I was third string, so basically I was on standby for Barcelona. All I had to do was, like, if somebody got sick or anything along those lines, then I would get called up. I would have flown over, and yeah, that's how that would have worked.
You were an sport guy in the Olympics?
Yes. I was a Greco-Roman wrestling. Yep. I was taught by the Hart family in the dungeon. Yep.
Holy moly.
Mm-hmm.
I see you with completely different eyes right now. I'm so sorry for the face that I'm having in the camera.
I'm
right
still
now,
the same person. And you know what, folks? We never got Christine. Nope. I pulled a bone, but I pulled it in a different area.
He's a wrestler.
Yep.
He's a professional. What the hell is going on here? I now find out so many new things about you. This is like really crazy.
Can GG do it? Never give up, guys. Never give up. No, don't give up. Got it. All right. I got it.
Can I ask you one weird question?
Yep.
Being a wrestler, there are loads of things that may happen with your body because of that. Of course, as a wrestler, the basic thing is you gain a lot of upper body strength because it's all about this movement and everything, the core strength. I did myself a bit of fighting and taekwondo and karate when I was younger, and nowadays I'm just into boxing and stuff. But one other thing is that wrestlers and ringers, right, get is something with the ears because of the rubber and everything.
Yeah, it's called cauliflower ear here. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I got a little bit, but you guys don't get to see it. Yeah, I keep it really well.
No, that's not the question. That's not the question. But is that really common? Because now I get the chance to talk to a wrestler. I never had that before. Is that really a thing, or is that just like a myth that is made up?
If you think about it, your head is I got your ear here pressed up against my bicep, and I got your ear here pressed up against my wing muscle. When I crank down on it, all that force is tearing and putting like the 2 layers of skin on your ear. Like, so when I grip down and twist, I'm taking your whole ear and I'm just ripping it right down and around. So yeah, no, that's why we always wear the pads. There's a reason why we always wear those pads. Yeah.
To kind of at least minimum protect.
Exactly, and it also holds the chin closed as well, because if you slam somebody down hard enough on their face, their chin's going to snap back up and you knock them out, right? I mean, that's how you knock people out. They have a loose chin. That's like, all right, out you go.
That's the connection to the jaw here, to the brain. Yep. With the hook or with the cut.
In 5 minutes, Luke, we'll be taking the break. Yep. I figured I'd take a break at 2 hours today, so that way we only have an hour and 15 minutes for the last little bit. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to go talk to Auntie, and we're going to go get ourselves Christine, so that way we don't get stuck on anything. We have a way to transport out.
Same thing happened to a guy that was watching my stream before. He was like in the garage fixing stuff at the stairway. I think you remember that. He was getting stuck, and unfortunately he hadn't saved the game before, and he has no outcome of the situation. He couldn't like call the tow truck for himself or something.
Yeah, it was Bone. It was Bone, part of my syndicate crew. Yeah, it was on a stream yesterday.
Holy!
And he had to restart the whole game all over again. Poor guy. So yeah, let's not happen again.
If he's here right now, Bone, I'm absolutely sorry for you, but I hope you learned that for the future, always, first of all, get a vehicle so you can spawn out of that.
Agreed.
Hello, Auntie.
I'll get some food from the Auntie.
I'm fine, darling. But you look half starved, dear. Here, I've prepared something for you.
Thank you, Auntie.
Need me to help you with something?
I haven't heard from Lily for quite some time. Could you go over there and see if she's okay? She's a herbalist, so she might be able to teach you a thing or two, too.
Randy Coach sure does. He has the really bad cauliflower ear, actually. Yep. Gotta go.
Look after yourself.
Then we'll talk to Unks.
Need me to help you with something?
Well, yes, actually. Our pickup, Christine, is left in the forest.
Okay, never
She's
mind.
not worth
I'm
much,
looking at the,
but it would be a shame if somebody stole her. Would you mind driving her back here?
I thought I saw where the underlining bar was actually wider than the opaqueness. But no, it's correct. Everything's dead on. Yeah, no, that's exactly why we wear those ear and chin protectors there, Angela. Always. Yep. And after I was done with the wrestling program, because basically the moment that you hit about 20, they're pretty much, it's like, okay, you now feel stamina. So they keep the younger crew pretty much all the time, right? Yeah, it's very uncommon to see anybody over the age of 24 still as an Olympic wrestler.
One thing that I wanted to do for a long time was, when I was younger, I was really into fighting and Taekwondo. I was doing that for a lot of years. Then I had my first real growth situation. Then I became like 187, 189 with 12 to 14. So I was like, in my age, one of the biggest chaps around. So I started playing basketball. So I started playing basketball in center position. I could do that really well, but nowadays I'm like 194, 196, depending on when I get up or when I'm going to sleep. You know that because your spine is contracting and everything.
Daily compression.
I think I wouldn't be able to do fights or anything today because I'm just big and slow.
No, you know what? For wrestling, it's technique. It's all about how many techniques can you learn. Because if you can get anybody in a position, like they just move their arm this way with the shoulder up on the left and the right shoulder down, and 3 different ways, you're just waiting for his foot to move whichever one way so you can grapple him. And that's all it really boiled down to for me, was just learning techniques. after I had a very large arsenal of techniques, wrestling became easy. I just had to practice every single one of those techniques over and over to make them fluid. Once you get to the point that people start looking at you and saying, dude, you look like a ballerina out there. It's because you got it so well figured out, so fluid, that it becomes a dance.
Yeah, it's all about the technique, right? But don't you think that
I brought
if you
the
have,
car
like, a
like
big
you
guy
asked.
in front of
Wonderful,
you,
thank you.
And
Now that I
wrestling, it
think
is
about
about
it,
grabbing
you
him
could use the
and
trick more
going
than I do now.
shoulder to shoulder.
Why don't
if
you
that's
use
the
her
right
while you're
sport.
here?
It's like you're going
She's
down,
not
trying
much,
to grab him
but
at
I'm
the
sure you'll
hips,
like
right?
her.
The
You should go
shoulders,
and see Oliver.
The suits for
Last
wrestling
time
have
we
like
talked,
special
he
patches,
mentioned
right?
something about
Where
his
you grab
barn
them.
that needs some repairs.
So they don't break
Perhaps
off.
you could help.
But
I
if you're a
actually
big
feel
guy, it's
bad
harder
about
for you
asking
to
you, but
get down to the smaller
you've
guy
seen
and
our
grab
old
him instead
house
of the
and
smaller
farm
guy just
buildings.
attacking
They're all
him.
in really
I can
bad
tell you
condition.
this, though.
Could you
There's
bring them back
one
to life?
rule in
What do you
wrestling
think?
that they'll teach
Help
you
us,
right
old
away.
folks.
Well, at least
We
they
will
did
share
at
the
the
extra
Heart School,
profit, but
was
only
that
after we sell it.
wherever the
I
head
cannot
goes,
afford to pay you at the
the
moment.
body will
but if you
follow.
help,
It
you
doesn't
will live
matter how
comfortably
big
while
your
you stay
size.
here.
All right.
Because your body is all built around your brain. If you can get the guy moving his head around in that, you can start throwing his center of balance to any position you want. So you can roll him through any technique that you want to use once you get him for that particular center balance point. It's really cool. It is really, really cool. Now, Deuce, did he ever, guys, did Deuce go and test this out before we go for a break? Did Deuce test out to find out if we tell the uncle and auntie that, no, it's all work and no pay, uncle, not this time? What happens? Did Deuce try that out? Because if not, I think we're going to see if we can save him. Oh, we couldn't
That would be an
save.
interesting thing.
Yes, he tried it out? Okay. And everything was good afterwards? I'm happy for it. I don't have to. Deuce did it, so I don't have to. There we
That
go.
sounds good.
We'll
I'll
work
sort
with the
that out.
family.
I spotted
I
a
think
rather
he says
strange
something
looking
like,
man
"All
down
right,
by the
come back
river.
if you're ready for that."
He
or
hid in the
something like
bushes
that.
when he saw me. Could
Yeah,
you please
we'll let
check on
Deuce
him?
be the
I must say
bearer
I'm a little
of that
scared.
Will do.
debut. We'll
See you
let
later.
him. We'll let him have all the glory for that. So he did it, so I don't have to. Same thing when I say, look, guys, I did it, so you don't have to. When I do all that type of testing and everything that I was doing, same thing. Deuce did it, I don't have to. But now that we have the pickup, we can go to see Oliver and go get ourselves the tractor for the last half. Once again, I'd like to remind everybody, go ahead and join the Avalon Discord. Throw me some screenshots that you think are funny. Basically, I am looking for one with a sheep. You holding a sheep in front of a waterfall. I don't know why, but for some reason, I just think that'd be funny as hell. Like, I gotta go wash my sheep. Here, throw it in the waterfall. I don't know why. I just thought that'd be good and funny. So, if you guys got something that's even better, by all means, I got that link in there. It says Lumberjacks Dynasty in that Discord. Just go ahead and throw the pictures in there. It is open to everybody. Please keep it family friendly. Don't be throwing in memes or anything in there. Please keep it to the screenshots in the game. Other than that, yeah, we're going to take a 15-minute break here, folks. And when we come back, there will be more of me and Zomagi. So, guys, if you haven't, take the time, find his links in my description below, and go give him a follow over on the Twitch. That is his preferred method platform at this time. I'd greatly appreciate it. He's one of my recommended rascals, which you can also check out on my homepage, where you'll also find that we now have a new shiny join buttons. So many different tiers for many different budgets. Please feel free to choose the one that feels best for you. And thank you so much for all your support, guys. I'm going to turn the music on now. Fingers crossed that we're going to play in a playlist, not the same song over and over and over again. And I'll be back with you guys in just 15 minutes. So enjoy your break there, Zomagi.
Yeah, I will do. Enjoy yours.
I got to tab over and get the music going. Let's see. Okay, what's going on here? I'm telling it to play different music. It's telling me no, I don't want to. There we go. Alright, I gotta get my Discord pulled up from behind OBS, because I probably got messages I haven't checked.
They can still hear us, right?
Yes, they can. Yes, yes.
All right. So, how long will the break be? I think I can be back at in 10 minutes. Let's say in 10 minutes I'm back here.
Sounds good. I'm just getting the 15 minutes load up. And there we go. 15 minutes from now.
All right, then I will just mute myself, I guess.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
see you
exactly what I'll
later.
do here too. I'll just mute it over here. Sounds good.
Sounds good. Ciao, ciao.
I might as well take a moment here and reach out to my awesome chat. How's everybody doing today? Hope you guys have been doing well. I've missed y'all. Thank you so much for all that amazing support yesterday, guys. It got me through a rough patch last night. I was able to take all that love that was shown and shared yesterday and funnel that into the healing process in which I had needed. So it was a rough night last night, but we were able to get through it. I made myself some comfort food of some amazing fish and chips and enjoyed that with a beer. I haven't had a beer in a ton of time. So I used half of it for making the batter and I drank the other half. I know, I'm so bad. But, oh my goodness here. Oh, Angela, I don't know. I go to Taco Bell and I have to order a Dr. Pepper. I can't do it. Can't do the Baja Blast. Like, tastes like and smells like pine salt. Really? Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I snagged that picture. Uh-huh. Yep. It does exist. It's a real thing. That's right, Angela. Break time is button time. Make sure that after you've gone and done all your stretches, when you come back, it's time to check out those awesome links in the description below. I put them there hoping that you folks will go ahead and click on the one that you're looking for that might suit your fancy for that day. How is the lettering up on screen, guys? It's hard for me to see because I got an tiny little screen. Ah, what do sea creatures eat? Fish and chips. Nice. Fish and chips. Oh, that you love Baja Blast. Gotcha. I gotta get Dr. Pepper. Anywhere I go, I get the Dr. Pepper. It helps with my GERD so much. It's like, oh, gotta have. I won't let you down. Yeah, I know. Turn on the hard tune there. Turn on the auto tune there. Yeah. Hey, beep. That's all, folks. It's gonna be the next hour and 15 minutes. It's gonna be fun. Ah. You can't see those black letters on the pictures. Okay, because I went with what was called a comic font, and it's not letting me change the coloring of the letter. So. The Zomagi do his thing here and that for the next 2.5 minutes, guys. So if you haven't already, please take this time to stretch. Please take this time to grab your drinks, your snacks, and make sure that your butts are back into the comfiest positions, because we got another hour and a half, and we're going to see what we can do for picking up the tractor and that, and getting this playthrough started. Mostly, the first... yesterday was a bit about the showcase. Today's a little bit about getting the game going, but mostly, having conversations with a like-minded gamer as well. Got to be careful. Don't want him to get into trouble with his bosses and all that as well. I mean, they have been so gracious enough to, let us... what you call it? Grant us access. That's the word I'm looking for. Grant us access to the game one day early. So I should be more on my best behavior. I keep forgetting that the rest of the world in that is more sensitive to the topics that we as Canadians feel that we should talk about to get over any differences, so that we can explain things in that. But that's quite all right. While we have him on here, and I know that he is in part of their group, so don't want to get him in trouble. It may show up great on the PC, but it's hard to see on the phone.
Hello?
1 second here. Hey, just sitting there hanging out with chat for the last little, couple of minutes here while we're waiting for the timer to run out. We're just going through talking about my new thumbnail and overlays and seeing whether or not, if they can read it. But apparently the lettering that we have is it doesn't quite show up well enough. I might have to see about putting an opaque layer over top of the truck so I can make it stand out a bit more, maybe. See, all the things that I'm trying to do.
I was just listening to the stream. Why didn't you tell me that my microphone is so bad?
It's not you. It's Discord coming through. You and I sounding together sounds fantastic. but it comes out through Discord and it sounds like crap. And I've been slowly trying to touch you up and everything, and I've gotten my system to the maxed out that I can't. It's not you, it's the replay through my system through the stream.
Holy moly.
Because, yeah, you sound just absolutely fine. Like, you sound like, you got yourself almost the studio mic, like I have. But when you push it through to Steam, through OBS, it sounds horrible. But then, when Deuce, myself, and I record our Syndicate servers games, it's crystal clear. It's beautiful. We all sound like we are professional podcasters.
Yeah.
But it's just going through the Steam technology, or streaming technology. All right, so let me get you back up here in full screen. There we go. There we go. That's the sexies. That's the sexies we all waiting for.
I could really be a model. Like for the how do you call that? Where you can buy meat?
I know what you're talking about, like a body shop type of thing. Yeah.
Like a butcher.
Butcher. Yep, butcher.
Butcher.
Yep.
I could be a model for a butcher magazine.
Yeah. There you go. So yeah, they told us that we could go see Ollie. Let's go grab Christine and go grab Christine, you're in a good parking spot. We'll leave you there. We'll hoof it over to go visit Ollie. We'll go do the stretch. Get a stretch on. Bud says that you sound pretty good, so that's awesome.
All right. So I don't have to change nothing about my system here.
No,
that is
good. You leave your system as is. Your system is set up for you for your streaming and your recording, and so you're going to come through and sound really good on there. It's only when your voice is being dispatched through Discord that you'll have
there's just
bad quality.
One bad thing. There's just one bad thing with the Rode microphone that I'm using right now. It is standing on the table, which means if I'm doing like rages or something, or even just grabbing my drink like this.
And then you set it down?
Yeah, like really soft already.
You can still hear that.
Yeah. I have my own old like microphone arm here, but it's not compatible with my new microphone.
No, I got very lucky. I have the Rode PS1A boom arm, and dude, it is amazing. It held my Yeti, and it holds the Shure microphone. You take either one of these things off, and this thing will smack you in the face faster than a horse can kick. It is crazy how strong the spring is until you put a microphone on there, and then it's just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and then it's perfectly balanced. Before I used Rode, I used this Yodo thing here, which I can now use for interviews on the street. Hello.
Nice.
What are you thinking about Brexit or something? Yeah.
That's what I've always said.
That is awesome.
Yeah. The other microphone that I used before would have been perfect for making like podcasts or something, but this thing here is like for recording really gaming content and live streaming, so I'm
Hello there.
with it.
Hello, young
Just
man.
have to buy myself an
Need
arm
anything?
to attach it.
Are you Oliver? My Uncle Charles sent me. He told me you may need some assistance.
Might be a little
sent you?
loud here.
Yes,
On
I am
the,
Oliver. I could indeed
voice
use
sounds, I might
some
have to
help
turn those down
preparing
just
my
a little
barn.
bit.
Oliver. Sounds familiar. Have we met? Well, never mind.
I'm really
That's a
loving the new
great barn
models.
you have
I
there.
love the
Thanks.
arms. They
Could you
look
help
so
me?
good.
Unfortunately, I just bought
Yeah,
this place,
the
so
articulation
don't have a lot
points
of money
for the
left.
clothing and
can't
everything is
pay
now
you.
bending
But I
along
can offer food in
seams,
return.
like wrinkles in the clothes.
Thanks, but no thanks.
No,
Wait,
that's just
wait.
amazing.
I have
It's
an
like
old
really
tractor
great
that
in
I no
details.
longer use.
Absolutely.
Charles
yeah.
told me you have
evolves a
some
lot.
skills.
But
So
I
maybe
have to
this will be a
apologize
fair
for, the
trade.
lag
But
that
if
I
we're
have.
talking about a tractor as a reward,
Once you
I
are
will need
in
more than just a
talking,
barn
I
fixed.
don't even see
What do
that
you
you're
mean?
talking, so
Do
I'm
you
still
see the
talking
forest
while the
over there?
characters are talking because
I need this space,
Yeah, I'm sorry
and
for
I
that.
don't care about
That's all
the
right.
trees, so you can have them. But I want this area flat. Deal?
Deal, dude. All right, so for the
A
tractor, we can do
you
that.
say? I can certainly use one. It's a deal.
She's sleeping behind me in the bed on the couch there, Christy. Puppy just, she's happy to be, she got a lot of cuddles and everything else this morning. She was up on my lap and all that when I was getting ready. She seems to have claimed that as her spot now in the mornings for getting some loves before she goes back to bed. My dog gets up in the morning, uses the bathroom, gets a little bit of pets, and then she crawls back into bed till after lunch.
Yeah, that's how I used to do it when I was younger.
My puppy's old though. She's like 9, 11, something like that. I don't know. She's old though for her breed. For a French bulldog, they don't usually last more than 7 years. And,
So she's a French bulldog.
she's a French bulldog Boston Terrier cross, but both breeds really don't last very long. And the reason why we got her is because the reason that a French bulldog and Boston Terrier cross actually gets rid of both of the bad genetics in each of the breed. So where the French bulldog is bad in genetics, the Boston Terrier is really strong, and vice versa.
Still, it's a real tongue twister to say the name.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's true.
Oh, you want a real tongue twister? They thought I had some sort of cancer on my adrenal glands at first when they were taking and testing me. And they were like, oh, for sure, you have a phenochromomycetoma. Try pronouncing that. Yeah, a phenochromomycetoma.
Phenochromomycetoma.
Yep, there you go. You got it. Good job. You actually hit that pretty good. Yeah.
I got lucky.
But yeah, no, it was like, what now? And then I went and checked it all out, and it's like, basically a mass that grows on your adrenaline glands. So it produces excess adrenaline all the time. But the amounts that I have are indicators for that. Like, that's the first thing. As soon as they saw that, they're like, oh god, you got cancer. So I mean, they irradiated me. I mean, I wasn't allowed to fly. I think it was 14 days not allowed to fly, but they would prefer that you stayed away from anything radioactive receptive for 21 days.
So no phone, no PC, nothing?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, basically stay away from, all airports.
I think I wouldn't survive that. Like, for real, what did you do all the time?
Oh, I was at home playing my video games, man. I mean, honestly, COVID itself didn't change my life. I'm very, very outgoing. I'm very outspoken. But at the same time, I don't really like going out into the world in that, especially if I'm having a really bad day because I don't walk straight. I have a little bit of a gait it's noticeable. And so that's like, even when I did the one video where I showed everybody that I did the trommel, you'll watch when I walk, it doesn't look right. It almost looks like I have wooden legs. Right? And so you get a lot of people who stare and look at you and stuff, right? And it's like, but yet you turn around and I'm having a good day and I'm walking just like everybody else, and they're like, oh, you're one of those people. You know what I mean? It's like, go away. I don't need to put up with it. Yeah. Oh, I messed up. I was hitting the left stick to move the chainsaw, not the right one. I'm at muscle memory. Oh, nope, did it again.
This is the second where I would be like, why are you not moving? Why is this not working? And throw the controller against my wall.
Yeah, like I said, I got to get used to the muscle memory to get it to where it needs to go, and then once it's there, we're good.
Then I would just be like, oh, damn, it was the other stick. I'm stupid.
Wait a minute. I know what's going on.
Not that you are stupid. I'm just...
Yeah, I know what happened. They changed the speed, didn't they? They changed the speed of the cut.
Yeah, indeed. They did.
Yeah, okay.
They did, absolutely.
Okay. It's muscle memory. I'm moving faster than it is, and I'm going, this isn't right. Am I even in my bubble? Yes, I'm within my bubble. My bubble. Bubbles. I haven't watched that Nemo show in years. Just show that Finding Nemo.
You haven't watched that in years?
Yeah, with the son. Yeah, no, with my son, we've had lots of other cartoons and everything else to watch. We watched the newer one, Finding Dory, with him, but I don't know if we watched the original.
Finding Dory and Finding Nemo, I have to out myself there. I never saw any one of them.
Oh wow, really?
Never ever.
They're cute.
I mean, yeah, I could watch them, but in my whole life, I've more been like in a Marvel sort of movie guy. Like, I watched every movie of Marvel like 10 times minimum. It seems ridiculous, but I'm a huge fan of the whole universe and everything. I'm like a guy in physics class. How did the universe happen? I would say like the Celestials threw the 6 Infinity Stones into the universe and stuff like that, and I would get like 0 points on my physics class. But yeah, no, I'm like a huge fan of that. But yeah, I'm watching a lot of movies actually. I spend a lot of time in movies and on YouTube and social media and that. But Finding glory and stuff.
I tried doing all that social media stuff, but it just gave me too much burnout. Like, I mean, I can understand the big guys doing it and everything because they can hire a company that can do it. But when you're trying to do, 2 to 3 videos a day plus a live stream, run a family life and social media, it got too much. It was burning me out, and I couldn't let trying to expand the community or my reach or anything destroy my outlet. You know what I mean? This is this is health reasons for me.
Hey, GG, he needs to watch both movies before he can come back. Well, shall I go now, or what does he mean with that? Because I didn't watch the... Alright, people, maybe I didn't watch Finding Nemo, but I watched The Ice Princess. I watched Frozen, both parts, and I am Team Olaf. Now your turn. What do you want to tell me?
Team Olaf. That's Lemony Snicket's, right? I have not watched what'd you call it? Frozen. Yeah, I have not watched that. My boy. Do you wanna build a snowman? Yeah, my boy looks at what the heck is that? The Snow White lady, and he's just like, no thanks. He wants the Wreck-It Ralph. He wants the Lego movies. He sees like Beauty and the Beast. I mean, he'll be like, Dad, can you turn this off? I'm like, oh, I love you, son. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's watch some racing or something. My kids, I don't know how, but my kid just got right into rockets, man. Like, just absolutely all about them. You can ask him about main engine cutoff. You can ask him about second engine cutoff, and he'll tell you about it. He's just turned 5. But, because, I watch that type of stuff, and he sits down, and he just got right into it, too. So, hey, all the power to him.
The thing is that loads of parents nowadays think that kids shouldn't play video games and shouldn't watch TV at all, but I think most kids, like from age to like from 5 to 10 to 12, learn the most through watching TV. They learn by watching or listening to something that they like and that they're interested in. Like, for example, when I was younger, I learned all my English, all my pronunciation. Like, I'm not talking English like a normal average German guy. I mean, normal average German is like, I would talk like this because my English is like, I have most problems with the TH.
Right.
You know that? Some Germans talk like this. But I watched like the Grand Tour, the Top Gear seasons and everything.
Lady I was speaking with last night, she has all that, like you say, is the Zests and very hard pronunciations of words like Gothof. Like, she was just very hard on saying things. It's like, okay.
Yeah. And because of me watching a lot of television shows like, Top Gear, the Grand Tour with Jeremy Clarkson. Yep. Absolutely. So also I got not only the English slang kind of, but also the pronunciation and stuff. So yeah, I got really interested in trying to get my English as good as accent free. So I'm not talking like the French. I'm not talking like the French accent from the English or like the Germans.
No, you do very well. You do very well for picking up the American and Canadian type slangs. Yeah, like for the the tonings.
Yeah, recently there's a funny story actually. Recently, Patrick, the guy from Ireland, came to us. And I had like a really bad way of talking English. I said something like, I don't know. But I know that some other people, I don't know where the accent comes from, but they say, I don't know. Like, well, I don't know. Maybe he's like from the American or from the UK. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, they have this way of talking. And I said, I talked like, wow, dude, that was so funny. Like, I had this really bad way of talking English, and he was like, hey, dude, are you making fun of me or something? And I really had to get used back to the normal English basics that I had. But all of that I learned came from television and stuff.
Nice.
And I'm really like fascinated that your 5-year-old son is watching car shows and races with you and has this sort of knowledge. I think this is.
I think like for a lot of the time, like for myself personally during the day, first thing in the morning when he has his breakfast, he was allowed to have an iPad that he could watch a cartoon with. Now, if he was watching like a 20-minute cartoon, I'd let him have, a second episode. But then it would get turned off, and then it was, activities. Got to keep him moving, got to keep him busy. And, we'd go through songs and stuff. We wouldn't sing like Mary Had a Little Lamb. No, we'd do like phonetics. A is for apple. Apple. B is for ball. Ball. That's, I grew up not really as a kid because of the being born with pain. I had what's called an early consciousness emergence.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so, like, even my parents, like, I've never been ticklish my entire life. I don't like being touched, period. It's almost a physical assault for me to be touched. And so, for myself personally, I was more, like, my parents started talking to me as, like, I was an adult by the time I was 4 years old. Because I responded with speech as, like, an adult to them. And so, like, there was many times where our parents had to tell their friends, and like, no, speak to him like an adult because you're going to get in shit from him if you don't. And yeah, somebody goes, oh, and how is the little G today? I'd look at them and go, little G's just fine. I'm sorry I got to speak with somebody with such a low IQ. Are you understanding me? Like at the age of 5. Yeah. By the time I was in grade 1, I was competent enough to know that my grade 1 teacher was nuts. Like crazy. She should not have been in the classroom at all. She was like 2 years away from retirement. I'm guessing they were just trying to just let her get through to her retirement. But it was bad. Like she was sitting there telling me that I couldn't read or write. Hey, I couldn't write. Yeah, damn right. I do not have fine twitch muscles control that people do. So my writing is atrocious. But in her mind, that made me stupid. Regardless of the fact that when things went down with her and the Board of Education, I fully read out an encyclopedia. And as well as asked the lady, one of the people on the panel, whether or not they wanted me to go out there and fix their car because I heard it knocking when they came in. Because I could. My dad and I could. I'd already taken a car apart, put it together by then. My dad was so good for that. My dad was very mechanically minded. He's extremely smart. And so because I was always so active, he put me to work.
I feel like you're really honest. He still likes to make fun of my Irish accent, even if he says he isn't. PL, no, I'm not. I'm not making fun of his Irish accent. No, I'm not. You don't know. My family, we all have this thing around St. Patrick's Day. Sorry about the name, Patrick. But I mean, we all I can't do it right now. I gotta have my sister around. Whenever my sister starts it, I can start picking up. But we all start talking like little people around here, And talk about a great insult. I mean, just like they don't all talk like that. You go over there, like my brother loves the UK. He goes on many trips over there. He loves it. He loves to hang out with the Scottish and the Irish because they're just full of fun and merriment, as he puts it. He's like, you go into the bar, you tell him they're Canadian. He's like, you ain't paying for a drink all night. You're going to be sitting there. You're going to have so many people telling you about all their lives and asking you questions about Canada that you'll go a whole full evening and have so much fun that, when you're done with it, you were more enriched than for not going. So he just loves it over there. And he goes over there for the social. For the people. He goes there for the people. Not for the sites, not for the museums. He goes there for the people. The people is the most important thing in my eyes. People, if you're not going somewhere to see something, I go somewhere as well for the people. I mean, I have a lot of friends all over the world. I have a lot of friends all over the world, not friend all over the world.
But friends, yeah.
Yeah, and I visit them, and I don't really care about going on a mountain for the view or something. I just care about having fun with the family or stuff like that. Like, people around you are important.
Oh, most definitely. Your life cannot be enriched unless you have others around you. Is my personal feeling anyway.
And since you were talking about the school and everything, recently, I feel like I can tell this here now because recently, like 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I don't know. A month ago, I got like, I already knew this for a long time, but now I got like the sure thing that I know that I have some HDS disease, which
attention deficit. Yep.
Yeah, like in school and everything, I couldn't pay attention, and I had bad grades and everything. I was never the good school guy. I mean, also I think
You'd hate
people
me.
around me think
I'd be the guy who'd read my book before the test and go in and get 60% on it for not doing a damn thing.
yes.
Yep.
And also something that people around me thought for a long time that I have, and now I know that I kind of have it, is Asperger.
Oh, Asperger's. Okay.
Yes, this can mean that some people are afraid to be touched and have a different way of seeing things, a different kind of working with their brain and stuff. And I read articles about that, and it says that there are specific things for this kind of. It's not a disease. It's like a
It's
way
a syndrome.
how you live.
It's a syndrome.
It's a syndrome. Let's say syndrome. Yeah, that's good. Everything what they say there is totally true, and it totally fits me. And I already in my whole life knew that there was something in school, there was something wrong with me, but now I know what it is.
Well, I
There
wouldn't
never
say
was
it's
that.
wrong. I just say it's different. I mean, we now live in a completely different age where it's very. I mean, kids should not be in a classroom, and the way they are now. I mean, schools. It takes a village to raise a child. So why are we trying to ship them out and segregate them from everything else? I mean. It'd be easier to, give kids 6 different teachers for the same math if they find out that, teacher A doesn't work so good. So, well, okay, little Johnny, on your notepad, switch the screen over, and now you go from teacher A to teacher B, and teacher B says it in a way that little Johnny's like, okay. But right now, Johnny's only subjected to teacher A in a classroom. Why do we need teachers? Why can't we have presentators while we have glorified babysitters that don't need to get paid exuberant amount of money to not be able to hit their entire audience? If they aren't teaching every single child in their class enough that each and every single one of them are competent enough to leave that classroom, there's something wrong with our education system.
Absolutely, that's my opinion too. And so when I went to school,
Sorry, Gabriel. Keep going. I'll answer
So
my chat
when I
while you're
went-
talking that. Yeah.
So when I went to school, I always felt like I'm different than others, and this is typical for. It is sad that this is typical for Asperger syndrome people, that they have problems with interacting with other people. Like in my whole childhood, I never had friends. I've always been
Can't tell
lonely,
that to
and
anyone.
I was
Understand?
bullied a lot because I was different, and because I was talking like I know everything and everything. I was talking different when other people were like, "Yo, man, what's going on? I wanna hang out with you or something." I was like, "Sorry, could you talk like real to me or something?" And that in German, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But I went to doctors. My parents went to doctors with me, and they said they didn't tell me that I had like a disease or
Done.
something. They
Your
just told
farm is
me.
in much better
My parents
shape
told
now,
me that the
and the
doctor said
trees
I
are
wasn't
gone.
made for
Thank
school.
you. The tractor is yours now.
No, I could definitely. I
Pleasure
can see
doing
that. Yeah.
business with you.
I mean,
Yeah, I
While
just
we're
see
at
that you're
it,
talking
do
to
you know
people out there,
anyone
and
who
I don't
might be
want to
able to
interrupt.
spare a trailer?
Oh, no
A
worries.
trailer for the logs.
I'll be quiet
Would
for
be
I
you.
a
keep
shame
forgetting
not
if
to
you
use
get
the logs
close,
from
it
your
automatically
trees.
triggers.
As
You
a
don't go
matter
up
of
and press
fact,
A.
I do.
Because I've been pressing A
Go
for
and see Isaac
Medieval's
by the
Dynasty for
ski
so
jump.
long now.
He had one. Perhaps he
A on
doesn't
the
need it
controller. A
anymore.
on the
I
controller,
will.
folks, not on the
Thanks.
keyboard.
Yeah, well, so
Keep on.
then the doctor said my brain is working totally different. For example, when I was really young, I could listen to a CD or watch a movie like 1 time, 2 times, and people could ask me about it, and not only did I know everything, I also knew everything, every single word about the dialogues, the tone, the height of the language, the pronunciation. I knew everything. I could exactly on the second talk everything back like they did in the movie. And this is something that is definitely one thing of Asperger people, that they can really good like remember codes and patterns and everything, and on things they are interested in, they don't need a long time to learn what they're doing. And I couldn't do math, but I could learn things in my brain that I still have now, which I remember when I was like 2 years old, that I listened to.
Oh, I could see that.
This,
Yeah.
this is like a photographic brain, but the other kind. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Where other people in my class were like, I can do maths. I was like, I can't pay attention and I can't do this. Why do I have to be here? I came home and after 1 week, 2 weeks, I could play piano like others have learned for years.
Oh wow!
And
nice.
I didn't learn to read notes, or I didn't learn any theory or something. I just listened and my brain worked with all of that. And now I can go to the radio, listen to a song, and just like start playing it.
Oh,
because
nice.
I know the pattern, and my brain it's like weird to believe, it's like weird to explain, but my brain is absolutely different.
Oh, that is awesome. I mean, the only thing that to be able to play a music by ear is not something that I can do. I would say I'm tone deaf, where, you know, I can't really hear the music like that. I can't keep a beat. You ask me to sit there and tap my hand, you know, I'm going to be gone. I'm going to come off the beat. And yet you ask me, can you do a clock, like as in seconds? I'm pretty good. Like, I mean, I'll hit 10 seconds within the 10-second mark, and I guess most people usually start getting a discrepancy after about 6 to 7 seconds.
Absolutely. This is something I'm also really good in, like beats and stuff, like the drums. You have like the metronome, then you
nice,
turn it off, and you have to like keep counting, and then it kicks in again, and you're immediately again on the.
You're right on that beat.
About?
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. You're right back into it. If somebody goes and pauses a song to do some talking and then unpauses it, when they come back, my brain's like, yeah, my brain's like, I couldn't just go, oh yeah, I was like, if I was playing the drums, somebody stopped the music, my drum beat would be off when they start the music again. I would be nowhere in sync with what the music had previously. There's no way I can keep that tempo going.
Yeah, and I think this Asperger syndrome improved a lot in the last few years. Now that I finished my school, I didn't have the bullies anymore. I didn't feel that stupid anymore, and I learned to work. I learned to live. I do things that I like. I found myself in the streaming community. I have my people that watch me and that like what I do, and I have friends now, and I feel like a better part of the world kind of now.
Oh, gotcha. That's good. That's really good.
Yet still, this whole thing with how my brain works is still there. This is it for some situations. It's really good to have it. For example, with this testing games, after 20 hours, I don't have to record anything. I could remember every step that I took.
Yeah,
this was my joke.
Not me. I got to make sure I record it because then I can just go back and recreate everything.
That was what I was talking about. I didn't record. Yeah. But on the other hand, it can be like really bad for you. But yeah, that was enough of me. That's enough storytelling. We're playing a game.
The only thing that would happen with all those, like, where I could see really issues, and that would be like, so say somebody can play a clarinet. You know, they hear a song, they can go back and play it. They go, apply it in orchestra. They're given sheet music. Mm-hmm. Now they can't read the music. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you need to almost complement that skill by giving the entire education of it, meaning that if you're great at music, that's perfect. Now you need to be able to read the music so that way you can use that talent to its fullest abilities.
That is how my school thought. My school always thought, like, if you want to have good grades in music, you have to be good at reading notes and at the knowledge, which is in my eyes. I can only talk for myself, especially with music or art or something like that.
Wondered if you need
it's
this log
bullshit.
Here.
Do you want to buy it?
But if you go to play in a symphony, or if you're going to play for, say, a company that does scores for movies,
have you got anything that needs to be
you're
done?
going to be given
coincidence.
music that you've never seen before.
Over there cut down.
You've never going to have heard it before, and yet they're expecting you to play the clarinet with everybody else for that presentation for the recording. So I mean, that's why I would think that, if somebody has those talents, that, exploit them, but not in a negative way. I mean, it's like, oh, I can play the guitar amazing, like, well, I could do a lot of backup stuff just for fun, for gigs and that. All you gotta do is just give me the sheet music and I'm ready to play with them. But if I can't read that sheet music, I would have to go and listen to the song and everything else that they did beforehand. But what happens if the guy decides to throw in this extra riff and stuff like that? It's like, for you might be able to pick it up. But for the guy who only has to read sheet music, he's going, and just keep that same riff going. Got it. Okay, this is what my sheet music told me to play. This is all I'm going to play. So you'll be able to, mess around with it and have some fun, bring in some extra
improvisation.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas, the poor guy like me who's like, okay, this is a 4/4 tempo. I'm looking at it like it's a math problem, whereas you get to see it as more of an artistic thing.
I'll go for it.
In my eyes, the school system is not senseful at all, especially while we're talking right now about the music things. In my eyes, music exists in two different ways. Some people, they learn and read music, and some other people, they just know. They just try and they feel. And they play it as they want, and they don't write that down or something. They just go there, play whatever they want, play what they're thinking about, and that's something about me that helps me as well. Once I'm coming home from work or like from school even, I'm like really like, oh, I got a bad grade. I have like so much energy in me. I sit down at the piano and I just like let it out.
Nice.
I just don't play any songs. I play what I feel, and that is something that is kind of calming me down, like meditation thing. I know which keys fit. It is like the coding, like zeros and ones, what fits, the patterns and everything, and you can do whatever you want. It sounds right if you know that and if you feel that, and that helps me a lot. But yeah, maybe we should change topic there.
No worries. I'm just looking here at my chat here, and Bones dropped us a joke. It says, what kind of music does a fallen tree branch dance to? Logarithm. I love it. I love it.
Absolutely. Bone is like the funny man.
Yes, he is. Actually, it was funny. When I first met Bone, it was through Farmer's Dynasty when Toplets had me going out and taking around and looking at all the different streamers and just getting an overall public feel for how the people were taking it. And I happened to reach out to Bone and everything else, and I thought I'd seen Bone over in the Discord, but apparently I was wrong. I was like, you don't know who I am, all right. So I was like, okay, so this is who I am, and met up with him. And within like the first 4 or 5 days, I was like going, this guy's got some great one-liners. I think I'm going to put down in my my recommendeds here for him that joke extraordinaire or something. I think I put down in there, and it fit. It just took right off. Like everybody knows Bone for all his jokes, and I was like, this is great. I'm so glad I end up running into this guy, because just his comedy alone when we're hanging out doing multiplayer is enough to keep you in stitches. He did this commentary when I was doing a race. I was killing it on the race. There's nobody could catch me. And he was trying his best to do the race, but at the same time, you're like, oh, is he going to hold on? Does he make it around that corner? Oh, yeah, he does. Man, I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard. He's just got that natural talent to be funny. I also think he could do a great Groucho Marx routine. I'm going to keep telling him over and over and over until I get him working on a routine or something.
Hear that, Bone? Now you know what you gotta do in your future. He's gonna be a comedian on Twitch, only presenting one-liners. And then every time he needs a guy behind the sound bars and everything. No, not sound bars. Behind the mix tables, tables, and after a one-liner, he's always like,
yes,
one sound. He's gonna be famous for that, Bone.
Get himself a stream deck. He can do it so he could have all his perfect timings.
Yeah, for real now. I would watch that if he does like a 1.5 hour show every second day on Twitch.
It'd be great,
just with one-liners.
But in a sense, that's kind of what we do as streamers, right? Like, I'm sorry, folks, but there are going to be times when a joke bombs. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the way it's going to be. It's not like I can be, like an extraordinary entertainer every time, all the time. You got to try new material. Well, these guys that you see up on stage, they've been practicing for a few months on the same jokes over and over and over. Coming from a live stream, you use the same jokes over and over and over again, people aren't going to stick around for long, right? You got to always have new, fresh stuff coming up. So, of course, you're going to get some stuff that's off color or risque, every once in a blue moon. But at the same time, you're not always going to, have hits for your jokes. You always got to accept that, not all jokes are going to be funny on stream. And you can't fault somebody or... like this cancel culture thing that's going around. It's like, oh my god, yes, so the guy said this. But did you not see the last 60 episodes or shows or whatever that they did where everything is off the cuff and it was hilarious as hell? So they had a bad day. But yet cancel culture will come through there and just rip them to shreds. But, I don't know. Sometimes, you know, bad publicity is just as good as negative, or good publicity, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And what was there was a singer told somebody off in a racist way the other day or something like that, and he, like, doubled his people buying his albums or something afterwards, and it's like, well, that was not expected. Like, a guy does something really dumb, and he ends up getting a payday for it. That I don't really agree with. But I guess as they say, you know, advertising's advertising, good or bad, it's still out there.
Sometimes you get more like attention coming from like a scandal than from something really, really good.
Oh yeah, I remember there for the longest time. Do you remember YouTube beefs when YouTubers would have beefs with other YouTubers?
Oh, yeah. Which was all, in my eyes, all was made up. It was just like
a joke. Yeah. Just drove me nuts.
It's so stupid. One thing about YouTube that I don't really understand even today is there are trolls. Why do
Inside
they
a dog,
exist?
it's no dark to read. Sorry. Bone was telling a joke in a Groucho Marx accent.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That means he's getting more open to it. I like Groucho. I don't know why, but, you know, well, you just gotta, you know, have that cigar in your mouth. And just the way he did all his one-liners, and that was just, it was perfect. And I would think it would suit Bone so well. I think you could...
So he was like talking through the nose, right?
Yeah, okay, so Groucho Marx is the guy that had the big glasses and the big nose and the furry eyebrows.
Okay, I will Google that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I suppose if you weren't born before the 90s, you probably wouldn't have much of a connection to it. By the 90s, because he was all black and white video, this Groucho Marx character.
No, then I might not know him.
Yeah, so he was around, I believe, just shortly after the Charlie Chaplin days. So he was one of the few that were on the black and white television set doing improv, or not improv, but doing television shows, or, you know, what the heck was his name? I was going to call him Dick Van Dyke, but that wasn't it. The guy who always had his arms crossed there. The Ed Sullivan Show, you know, that type of stuff is where he was on. Yeah, he was on those type of things.
You did like the Texan accent, right?
The Texans, I'm not really good at accents. If I hang out with somebody for a very long time, I can repeat something that they've said in the accent, but I couldn't take something that's completely fresh and say it in the accent.
Yeah, also this is something that I trained myself to do when I wanted to become a voice actor in German. There are loads of accents with people talking German, like from Switzerland and everything, Bavaria, the Bavarian accent and everything, yeah, I tried to copy that, but yeah, with the English it's different. Like the Texan, do you say Texan?
Texan.
Texan.
There you go, perfect.
The Texan accent is like, do you know Young Sheldon, the series?
Yes, I've heard of the series. I know of Big Bang. I watched, I think, half of a season of that.
Absolutely. You only have to watch like one episode of that, and you know that Sheldon's brother there and his father, they have like the Texan accent, and it's so different. They are like so rolling the word and everything. They're like, you couldn't copy that if you weren't born there, or especially only like really hard if you train that a lot. I can't figure it out.
Oh, thank you very much there, Trucker. Gabriel's saying here that Groucho was actually in the talkies. Now, talkies is a reference to the movies just after they came out of silent film, when it was sound was just being added in. I actually caught that reference there too, Gabriel. So yeah, he was Chaplin, Buster Keaton. Those were they were silent comedians, and then Groucho came in as one of the known as the talkies. Yeah, pretty cool.
So
did I do it?
Right now?
I did it.
Nah, you did. Come on, tell me you didn't do that again. Did you really manage to like put the three through the ground?
Through the ground. Yep. Yeah. No, there's. I didn't think that we were going to be able to do that after that last fix. So.
It shouldn't be.
It should not be possible. I think it might just be a zone here. I'm going to take a quick screenshot of my map.
Maybe that is something that has to do something with a lot of trees laying there.
Maybe.
Like a lot of trees, like in a star formation going into the center, and then there's one tree, and the collision just says, nope, I don't want any more. I'm gone.
Yep.
Tree, fall through.
Could
Bye-bye.
very well be, yep. But yeah, so I
in
just
either
take
case,
a...
This is definitely...
Well, that, and I also jumped on top of it, too, to see what would happen. As soon as I noticed that the tip went into the ground, it's like, all right. So I jumped on top of it to see what would happen, and yeah, I was able to push it right through the physics.
Yeah, you put some weight on there, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know whether or not that's going to mess up my quest, though. We'll find out for the amount of logs you got to bring in.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. You don't have to, like... You only have to give him, like, 18 things.
Oh, okay,
18
and
or
there's
16.
more logs than that here. Okay, good.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Excellent,
And small advice at the side: if you like take a log from somebody else's place, you might lose a few social points, but he doesn't care.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's just their accounting thing. Like counting the logs that are laying there, the system doesn't really care about if it's his or somebody else's.
Gotcha. Okay. I must have another limb on that tree, do I? Yes, I do. Here it is. Ooh. Up and over. I'm just trying to see if it's the ground zone, because this is where we pushed it through. Yeah, no, these are solid. These are definitely solid. And I'm not getting any bouncing from anything, am I? Nope. I'm getting no bouncing from everything, so everything is solid. Yep. Nope.
Definitely better than to the start, right?
Oh, boy, by far, by far.
When the game came out first, they were always like shaking.
Oh yeah, they never broke. They never settled on a Z-axis. They were always just bouncing through it.
Absolutely, and then if you wanted to like cut them into the logs, you always had to restart because they were jumping away from you, and I was like, "You are a tree.
I ended up
drowned. Stay there."
I used it to my advantage, to tell you the truth. So when they started bouncing up in the ground, or up and down, I'd get underneath it and just slowly start pushing it towards closer and closer to the tractor. I got really good at being able to line them all up in a row. So all I'd have to do is just come over and just grapple them all. It was great.
Could you do that sound effect once more time? Can you do it one more?
I don't know which one I did. Oh, I can't do that one. That's the only one I can do. Wow, that's good, man. I can't do that. It's like a drop of water. That is awesome.
Yeah, my father told me that.
That is sweet.
Yes.
My dad can do an amazing bird chirp. Like he just does a.
Like
I can't do it. He does a bird chirp, like a budgie chirp. Like he does this. I can't do it. It is crazy how he does it. It's like he'll get other birds respond to him from it. It's like, how the hell do you do that? Taught my son how to do a super loud whistle by curling your tongue up and putting in your mouth there.
Yeah, I always try to learn like this.
Yeah, my dad can do that way. I can't do it that way. I can do it this way, where you put it in the two fingers this way and do it. But my dad can do it with the two pinkies, and I can't do that one. I can do the other way.
Like the normal. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, yeah. That's the way my dad was trying to teach me as a kid. Right, was the two fingers together, and then one of his hunting buddies was happened to be there the one day, and he just rolled over and he went and made the whistle noise real fast, and I just looked at him. I'm like, hey, that's the same thing my dad does, but he goes this way, and he's like, I never could do that. I've always done it this way, and he's like, all right. So I tried it, and I almost hurt my ears. I had let her rip out so loud, and I was like, oh. Well, now that I know how to do that, I'm doing it this way from now on. And yeah.
Yay, I feel good. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I could communicate all the way across the ex-wife's, barn.
And then there's like inside the forest where you're trying to hunt or something, the message popped up, you achieved a new skill, whistling really loud.
Whistle warrior, achievement unlocked.
Yeah. You got the new hiking going on there.
Yep.
Share on your Steep page.
+1 hiking ability.
Yes, almost for free now. Woo!
Your survival skill has just increased. You can now whistle for help.
You got in medieval Dynasty, you can now whistle for help. If the wolves are coming, just whistle. Don't run, just whistle. Nobody will come.
I'm really
but-
impressed with what's going on with the render cube connection that you guys got there. They're doing a fantastic job on Minions Dynasty. That was a good hire.
Render Cube is a fantastic studio.
Yeah,
They
that
did
was
a
good
really
hire.
great job there.
Yeah, the only thing that I can see, like from my own personal opinion, is that diplomacy needs to be reworked on, in that having 3 choices, but when I go through each one of the 3 choices and every single one of them knocking points off, that bugs me. But we'll see what happens with some updates. Later, Mike. Take it easy, my man. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for providing such great entertainment for us during the Syndicate event. I hope you and the missus have yourselves a wonderful time tonight.
One thing I was never capable of was when we were in kindergarten. Do you say that?
Yes, kindergarten, yep.
Kindergarten. Oh, that was perfect German.
Mm-hmm.
In kindergarten, we went to the forest some days, and we just like pushed our asses, our shoes, and everything through the forest on the search for some bugs or some animals or something. And every time there were the people watching after us, going like, fold your hands like this and do this.
Some secret everybody knows.
And I always was like, how are you doing this? I can't do this.
I can do it with a blade of
this-
grass, like where you put a blade of grass between your 2 thumbs.
Like through your thumbs and like,
Yeah, and then you blow it like a vibrating harmonica thingy or whatever, yeah.
yeah, where you have like this membrane. Just it's like this vibrating really quick.
Yep.
Yeah, my father tried to teach me that, but instead of learning that, I learned to like do chains of flowers. Like,
Oh, okay, yeah.
yes, I had a really active childhood.
That's awesome, though. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, not too many people nowadays, can remember their childhoods, having like some sort of, I would say if we're never being oh, right, I forgot, I can't hook up until after I finish, but it's getting too dark for the folks, so we're gonna go nap. We're gonna go sleepies. Uh-oh, you're going grocery shopping with the kids? Oh, have fun. Have fun. Do what I do. Hot Wheels toys are cheap at Walmart. Like, I'm talking like buy 2 for $3 Canadian, so you probably get 2 for $2 American. Man, my kid will just be absolutely golden if he gets to go choose a Hot Wheel car afterwards for being a good boy while we would go out shopping. Man, oh man, yeah, and I mean, he's got a good collection of them now.
When I was really good, and I was always pushing like the shopping cart for my mommy. My mom, and she always bought me then like the Kinder Surprise egg at the checkout.
My kid loves those too.
That was always like a small treat because you get the chocolate and you get to open it when you're at home and you have the small toy. That's that was the biggest thing in the world for me.
My son's probably has it's a little bit bigger than a sandwich container, where he's got all those little toys from the Kinder Surprises that he's got.
Yeah, absolutely, I totally feel that. My father, when he was really young, my father was younger, he collected all the Smurfs from the Surprise Egg series.
Yes, yeah.
Which are now like, if he still have them, he would be a rich man.
Oh wow, they're collectibles now?
Yeah, they are absolutely. Wow. The Smurfs are one of the most, if not the most valuable Kinder Surprise Egg features, I would say, seasons, I would say, on the whole market of the world.
Wow. Oh, that's cool. I did not know that. No, my son doesn't have any. He has like, what's the word Minions? Is that the thing? Those little yellow things?
With 1, 2 eyes or something that look like Tic Tacs?
Yeah, exactly. They look like yellow Tic Tacs. Yeah.
There was a Tic Tac series with yellow Tic Tacs and some blue trousers. They look like Minions.
So okay.
Yeah, but he has a lot of those, right?
Yeah, he's got a ton of those. So that's those are the ones that he loves. And as long as he's happy, that's fine. As long as he doesn't try to put them in his mouth or anything, that's fine. He can have them.
Yeah, there was like, don't give kids under 3 years the Kinder Surprise Egg because they could like choke on the play toys.
Exactly. Yeah. We only we'd give them the ones that like there was the bigger Kinder Surprise Eggs, like 3/4 the size of my head, but they had larger toys in them. And then what we would do, We would break the giant egg down into like little tiny flakes and stuff. And then for like whenever he had dessert or anything, he could have a flake, a piece, but then we'd bust up a little bit of it and sprinkle on like top of his ice cream or like a piece of pie or something. You know, that way he could have some chocolate and all that. He would have his own distinctive piece of chocolate, but we could get through the chocolate. Otherwise, you know, he would, you know, wake up in the middle of the night or something like that and then just go help himself because he knew how to get to it.
One thing that I always hated in my childhood was like, you always know from Easter, the chocolate rabbits or what they are. You know, from like Christmas, the chocolate Nikolaus and Christmas guy. I don't know if that's in where you're from, like the Nikolaus.
Yeah, yeah. We just basically have just the regular Santa thing going on here.
Actually, I have to say something. Really sorry. What you just had there was a mistake. Did you see what I mean? Did you see that you had the log shadow turning in the air and your shadow was not there carrying?
Yes. Yeah.
That is something that I need to write down because this should be fixed. But I'm sorry that I interrupted you.
No, definitely. Yeah, no, definitely. No. I'm glad you caught that. I was looking over at your camera at the time, so I didn't catch that. But yeah, that was something that had happened previously before too. In the early release, there was a non-connected shadow issue.
Yeah.
So let's see. There we go again. Yep.
I can't see it now. I see it. Yes, I see it. I have like the delay. What we were talking about was I always hated in my childhood that you knew those chocolate things that were depending on which season the year was in, you got them in the stores. Also, Kinder Surprise eggs, you always had them. They were always like the white layer. There was always the white layer from the inside and the brown milky chocolate layer from the outside. And when you ate it, you had this chocolate melting flavor in your mouth that I was always wondering, why the fluff do they never sell like just single chocolate bars like in stores? If this sort of chocolate would be in a bar and sold in stores, I would buy hundreds of them in a year.
Yeah, it's what the heck? It's the cocoa butter is the taste that you're catching. If you like that taste, go buy yourself some cocoa butter. You'll be good. You'll be good. It's too rich. It is way too rich to not have it mixed in with other chocolates.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will definitely try that out. Do we get that like in a grocery store or?
It's a baking element.
A baking element. All right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's part of the baking. It's taking from your super dark chocolates, enriching it with cocoa butter to give it more creaminess, and then you add in your creams and stuff to make your milk chocolate.
One thing that I need to ask at this stage: do you mean like cocoa butter in a way of cocoa nut, or like cocoa like
as
the
in
chocolate?
Cocoa, as in like the chocolate.
Yeah, like the bean, like the chocolate
yeah.
cocoa. All right, because this is something that sometimes I listen to English words and I don't really know what is meant there, because it sounds exactly the same. Cocoa butter.
So it's COCOA, I believe it is. So it's really pronounced cocoa, but it's been just over time people have shortened it down to say cocoa instead of cocoa.
Pan is now there as well. He's asking what you're doing. He's just doing the Isaac quest. If I'm right, his name was Isaac, and he's trying to get the wooden trailer. Right?
That is correct. I'm trying to pick up the grapple trailer, and I'm gonna have to take a look at this log too when I pick it up.
Yeah.
Just see the tips. I don't know if the tip's in the end or if it's just resting on the end, but I don't see it being raised, and it's not bouncing, so that's a bonus. Yeah, Pan's been a long time viewer now, been hanging out for a very, very long time. Very interactive, loves getting right into the game. Like, oh, go over there, do that. Go over there, do this. It's awesome.
He was yesterday like freaking out. Follow the arrow, you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
follow those arrows. But
exactly.
I start getting into it where, you know, like I start reading into the chat and I'll start making silly mistakes in game and things, right? And so Pan's always been really good for that, for keeping you on your toes. Going, no, go over there, do this. Like, oh, what? Oh, you're right. My bad. Sorry.
Can you believe it?
There you go. Playing with a controller is not so easy to find center spots.
Yeah. Who do you tell?
What? Oh, I heard something about that, Gabriel. Yeah. Now I'm thinking about it. I had a conversation back in the day of Justin TV about Kinder Surprises are illegal in the United States.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it has something to do with, they have a law that you can't have chocolate and toys together or something like that. I can't remember. I think it's like prevent obesity or something, maybe. I'm not exactly 100% sure. Being Canadian, it's not something that, I've ever had to worry about.
But in my eyes, that is something of the... You gotta admit that from Kinder Surprise, the overall company is called Kinder, and I think Kinder is part of Ferrero or something. If I'm right there, I don't know. Talking about Kinder Surprise Eggs, what they did there, the product itself is brilliant. And from a marketing or kind of side, kids love chocolate and toys, and they combined it like a real egg with the yellow thing. It is just a brilliant idea. That's why kids love it. I love the basic idea, and I always ask, can I have it? Can I have it? There's nothing in the world from a chocolate and selling kind of side that works better than Kinder Surprise eggs. The idea is brilliant. It takes two things people and kids enjoy, but I don't want to insult anything now, or the president or something. Who the hell had the stupid idea to make Kinder Surprise eggs illegal?
I'm seeing words in here, like certain things like choking and stuff like that, that I'm guessing they've had some issues with that. But then again, the culture differences. I mean, here, yeah, I've seen a lot of where there's kids who are babysat by a television. They're, you know what I mean? Like mom and dad are super busy. They're completely bag tired after they come home from working. They cook the dinner and then they're done. They've had such a long day that there's really no interactive within the family in that. And I could see where over time people get complacent. They don't start watching. And I could see where it's like, yeah, he's had 100 of them. Give him a toy. And a kid chokes. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah. Whereas hanging out with a whole bunch of folks over in Germany, as well as the people that lived across the street from me when I was younger, they had German family, but it was family time from the evening. From the moment that they got home at 5 o'clock, everybody got together when they were cooking and they were talking in the kitchen. Then they ate together, cooking and talking. And then afterwards, after all the dishes and everything was done as a family, then the kids got to go out and do a little bit of playing around outside or whatever. Or, type of thing. It's kids here have a lot more independent freedom from their family than I think, than what it happens over in Europe, I think. So I could understand that. I could see where it could happen, where a child could choke on some of these smaller toys. Yeah, I could see that opportunity.
From a security kind of side, normally if something like that happens and you are close to saying that the product is illegal, the owner of the product or the company behind the product normally would say something like, all right, we will put a mark on this thing like that says parents,
warning, choking hazard.
Like
Yes.
And then it can't be illegal anymore because it's warning for that. So from a law kind of side, the company gives the how do you call that,
disclaimer.
No, thank you, gives the responsibility to the parents. That's or right. The kid itself, because they say we have nothing to do with it if the kid is having something or because we're right there. Watch out, if you don't do that, it's not our fault. So from a company kind of side, that would be a good thing to do.
My chat just made a very good point. Americans and Canadians had the Tide Pod Challenge. You've heard about the Tide Pod Challenge, right? Yeah. I mean, really. Okay, so the Tide Pod Challenge was basically how long could you hold a Tide Pod in your mouth or something like that? So, yeah, I could understand sometimes where, the mentality of the people has gotten to that point that, they aren't enforcing common sense upon themselves, that maybe their government has to. Instead of...
What did they have in their mouth?
Tide Pods. The, the laundry detergent Tide? T-I-D-E?
No.
Okay, do you have laundry soap that comes in a plastic wrapped capsule?
Which then disappears when it's touched water?
Correct.
Yes, we know that. Those
Okay.
pots things.
Yeah, those pods are what these people were throwing in their mouths.
Ugh. Really?
Yes.
Don't you even
So-
remind me.
Oh.
Yeah, Pagan says here, a lot of people want to have kids, but don't want to have to put in the work that it takes. And there's
Well, I
lots
guess
of people
someone
that are
just
out
has
there
to.
that are not capable of
Can't say I'm surprised.
being
You can't tell that to
how
anyone,
the word I'm trying to say is
understand?
not to sound rude, but they're just too damn lazy to take the time to self-educate themselves before they think about having a kid. You know, they just go, oh yeah, you know, I want a kid, but they had no idea what it all entailed to be responsible for that life, to bring that life up, to give that child the skills needed in order to, you know, make it through this world.
You can't tell that to anyone, understand?
And so, you know, like as a government, you know, like for me as a Canadian, I would say that, you know, governments need to step up more to help provide more education to those children where the parents are lacking. So that way the children can have that much more education and be more prepared for when they have their kids.
Absolutely.
Everybody
But I really
knows.
really would love to see a complete rewrite of the entire education system. I noticed in my chat earlier there that we're saying that the teachers aren't being paid all that much.
Something
Well, unfortunately, teachers at the same time also are quite stuck in the way of you have to only do the work one certain way.
I do it
And I'm
almost all
sorry
the
that
time.
when you come across kids like myself that can do derivatives by the time they're in grade 7, but your teacher has no idea what the hell that is, and that you're doing it math, everything in your head, coming up with math formulas that always works, the teacher cannot prove you wrong, but still give that student a 0 on a test.
That's true.
Also, something that is really stupid, for example, in the math. Once you reach to the higher grades, it's just so that teachers told me in my math class when I wrote the test, they hand me the test, I looked through it, and I got less points than somebody else, even though I had the right result. Because I went to the front of the desk and asked the teacher, hey, why didn't I get the full points there? I got the right results. And she said, you did that in your head, or you used the calculator in a way that is not familiar to us. Because, all right, I trained math with my father, who was in a school system years ago, and his way fits me better. I understand it better. And she said, no, you get the points to show me what you're doing, and to show me the way. You get only like half a point from one block task for the result. And I said, so if I just showed you I had a wrong result and showed you how I got the wrong result, I would have more points than just showing you the right result. And she was like, yeah. How stupid is that?
Yeah, no,
Like,
I totally agree with it. I ended up having a teacher that told me, for here our power, we run on a 110 standard, you run on a 220 standard. But those aren't the true powers. You stick a multimeter into that outlet, you're going to see here 112.8 as a minimum. You're going to see over in Europe 22.4.3 as a minimum. Like, you know, like it's you try to explain to the teacher that the electricity plant is pumping out at approximately, in your case, 260 volts to the person's door, but by the time it hits all the resistance, it's going to lose that electrical energy and only be up to 224 by the time it hits your door. So all of our appliances are set that they will work at the minimum of 220. But you try to explain that to a teacher, they look at you and they're like, well, no, I was taught that this is how you have to write the answers down. It is a standard 110. And I just like, I'm going to go prove that you are so stupid, lady. And I just walked out. I went down to the custodian janitors. And I told him that we had a broken plug and that he should probably bring his voltmeter down. So he plugs it in there and everything. And I go to him like, what's the voltmeter reading on it? Is it broken? He's like, oh no, it's bringing in the 112.8. Everything's good here. And I turned and looked at the teacher and I was like, I'll go to the office now. And I turned around and I went to the office and I went and talked to my principal, and the principal's like, yeah, you got to just do what the teacher wants you to do. I'm like, but I just taught you a lesson.
Almost all the time.
My job here is done. I'm out. You know,
like this mic drop.
yeah, pretty much, you know, as a little kid, you know.
And then
Like,
you can, if then the teacher says something like,
That's
"Get out
true.
of my
I
classroom,"
saw it
you're
with
like,
my own eyes.
"Bye bye, see you suckers."
no, I was already, I preempted that. I said, no worries.
Can you believe it?
I'm going to go to the office. Like, I was going to go see my principal anyway, just to report on her and her stupidity.
Well,
But he
I
agreed with
haven't
her.
seen it for
That's what got
myself.
me. He's like, no.
It's like,
Teachers are told that they have to
Well,
teach this
I
way.
guess someone
You're a
just has to
student.
do
You
it.
are told you have to learn this way. And I'm like,
That's
no,
enough.
I'm sorry. My common sense at this age even tells me that you are stupid and that
do
if this
something
was a
about it?
business, you would have run it into the ground by now. Oh, wait a minute. Guess what our
Well, I guess
education has
someone
done?
just
They
has to
haven't
do
made
it.
any money. They suck up so much, and then they want us to keep
That's
giving more
what
to the
I've
teachers
always said.
who aren't very good presentators to begin with. No offense. I love teachers that
Can
are
you
out
do
there.
something
The
about
ones
it?
that have all the education and that, go make some videos.
You can't
You
tell
will
that to
definitely
anyone.
teach more kids better
Understand?
that way, because you can't reach every single kid. Every kids learn differently.
Well, I guess
We're
someone
human.
just
We have
has to do
different
it.
learning patterns.
absolutely.
You
And,
are a
uh,
glorified
do something
babysitter
about
if
it.
you are a teacher now in any North American school, because you have not stood up
Everybody
and
knows
said
about
enough's
it.
enough. We need to teach kids, because you're not. They aren't.
That's
I
fine.
mean,
Just
I have respect for anybody who can hold on to 45 kids in a room like that, like
Hi.
mass
Hello.
respect.
Hi there.
But at the same time, hold on.
Gotta go.
I thought did I not finish this quest?
you have to fix the barn.
Oh, that's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 bushes. 3 bushes. That's what my issue was. All right. But so, you know, the teachers, you guys are doing great. You're going through, you're getting your education. But education is ever changing as well. And when the kids are coming up to you with knowledge of the newest information that's come through medical papers, and you turn around and tell them that they're wrong because you were taught differently, and your student can prove to you that you are incorrect, it is time for you to start making a change within your system. It's time for you to say that you are right, we are wrong. I'm going to give you your marks for this because you deserve it for actually doing more than the current education system that we are sticking you with does. I think the kids should be commended for knowing the absolute truth than living under the veil of a lie. I would much rather my son knows that he can do that.
What I think about school is that kids nowadays in school are taught the totally the totally wrong lessons for their life. They're learning that they have to always think in the box. Kids that think outside the box and can prove that other people are wrong. They learn that teachers are always wrong, always right, even if they're wrong, and they have no chance of getting their own meaning to be correct or accepted, even though it is correct. And that is something that I don't want my kid to learn one day. And also the thing is, the whole thing is with school, it's so kind of like corrupt, I would say. No, that's a hard word.
I'd say broken.
Absolutely broken. I could talk about so many shitty things about school. For example, those are small things now, but
So,
I'm sitting in my lesson, then I hear the gong, I hear the bell, and the teacher says I want to stand up. The teacher's finished with his sentence, and he's just sitting there in the front. The gong, the bell comes, and I want to pack my stuff and I want to leave. I have my break now, and the teacher says, "Hey, dude, what's wrong with you? I'm finishing the lesson, not the bell." And I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about? Why do you why do you then even have the bell for? What for is
Exactly.
it?"
It's
then
just a
also, like, on
guideline,
the-
so the next time that it goes off for a fire alarm, I'm just like, oh no, he wasn't done his lesson. No, you're not done the lesson. We're not going to go anywhere because we're not done the lesson.
I should do that.
Yeah.
I should have done that. But the other thing is like, when you are on the playground outside the school and you're throwing
Yeah,
one
Larry,
snowball,
rabbit hole.
you're throwing one snowball, or you're starting to argue with another guy. Every teacher is like, "You are the bad guy. Stop that shit. What's wrong with you?" And if you are in sports class and playing some Folker ball, you know Folker ball?
Yep.
something like that, or handball, and you are one. You're the unliked guy in class. Everybody's throwing balls
Swinging at you. Yeah, exactly. You know,
Everybody is
you're
only
eating the
pointing
beanbag.
at you.
Yeah.
And that's legal. Nobody says anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a bleeding nose and everything, and everybody would say, "Yeah, that was an accident. Come on, he doesn't even have to apologize." Like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with our school?
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many more points that I don't understand about that, but I'm happy because I never have to go back.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Hey,
I
but-
really, it's so shitty. I didn't go to my prom because after I got my, my results, I had the big talk from the director, from the principal. I was like, opening the doors, bye-bye. I will never ever go back here. This whole thing, I had to do this. I bit my tongue and I went through this. I will never ever see any of those persons again, and I will never ever think about going there. Like, this is. I didn't want anything to do with all those people in the school again. I didn't want to see them again, so I didn't go to prom either. I just came home, opened a bottle of beer with my father, and I celebrated. Dude, you finished your school.
It's pretty sad that out of all the people I've talked to, the only ones who were ever really happy about with what their schooling was were those that went to the entitled schools. The ones that had the schools that had everything that was new because they were in a richer area of town or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like you could tell. You go to some certain parts of school towns or city or whatever, and say their basketball team going on. Well, you could take a look at those two teams and go, huh, let's see, those guys' jerseys are completely white, but they're sparkling white, all the blue and the gold lettering and everything else on them. Then you look over at the poorer schools, and they're all in red because, well, those don't show as many marks and everything else. The richer school can replace those, those clothes and jerseys and stuff, whereas the poor school can't. So they get uglier looking goods that just last longer. That's all.
I know nothing about it.
Pagan? Is that his name? Pagan?
Yeah, Pagan, yeah.
Yeah, he said something absolutely right there. I don't know if somebody already said something about that. I will quickly read that.
Yeah, definitely.
Cars have changed, phones have changed, everything changed, but the education system didn't. That is so true. And that is so stupid on the other hand, but I really hope, that is my opinion now.
Well, that's the thing. We need to have conversations to be able to change minds.
Yeah, I'm really sorry if I'm talking too much there, or if I'm like way too energetic, and I feel like I'm losing my English, and I feel that I can't talk anymore because I'm so outraged about this whole thing.
Job done.
This is
Excellent.
So yeah,
As promised,
the school
trailer is
system
yours
today
now.
is still the same than 500 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, that was too much now.
We've changed basically only teaching things that are like updated now. We haven't changed the methods to teach. We've only changed what they are teaching. So, I mean, now we're teaching people how to type on a computer. Well, guess what? In the 1930s, we were teaching people how to type on a typewriter. The exact same way. Nothing has changed for teaching. I mean, but then communication is way better too with today. We know that as people, we learn via communication better than body language. Say, flint napping. Do you know what that is? Where you take two rocks and you make spears and arrowheads?
Could you say that again?
Flint napping, where you use rocks to make spearheads, arrows. Where you sit there chink, hitting rocks together to take off small flakes.
Yeah.
Back in Stone Man time, if they didn't have communication, we wouldn't have the spread of all these types of arrowheads. Because we've proved that you try to show somebody how to do it without words, they can't repeat it later. You show somebody how to do it with words, they can repeat it later. So, with that in mind, communication is a massive thing for learning. If your teacher isn't available or able to, in this day and age, communicate in a way with every single different way of learning, whether it be through touch, whether it be through different methods of learning that are out there. I don't know the exact names for them, and that some people are hands-on, other people are practical, some people are theory. I think that's how it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm practical.
So if your teacher isn't, though, how can you expect her to teach that?
Also, the thing with communication and talking and words and everything that you said is absolutely correct. One situation, and I had this multiple times in the lesson, the teacher is not like talking to the class. He's sitting at the front, having like a camera there and the beamer, and throwing that to the wall and showing what he's writing down. And we have to write together with him. He's not explaining anything. He's just writing that down and reads what he's writing down. And when I say, sorry, sir, I didn't really understand what you were talking about. Could you maybe go through that a bit slower? He's like, what's wrong with you? You could have listened the whole time. Have you been somewhere else or something? And then they automatically go back to this rage against the pupil, sort of like he's not paying attention to me.
Yeah, and it's like, no, I'm not understanding what you're trying to say. I totally get that.
Some people don't really understand it with the first time. Some teachers don't even talk anymore. And also in English lessons, my English teacher at the first lesson came in. She was talking English. I didn't understand a word. How am I supposed to know what she's talking about?
Exactly.
She's there to teach me, not to talk to me in English that I don't know. I'm lucky that I had television. All right, this is kind of funny, but
it is now
like
12:30, and so it's time for me to pass on the torch to the DeuceMS guys. If you haven't already jumped over there, we're running about 4 minutes late, so if you haven't already, guys, we had some great conversations here. Didn't want to cut it off too early, but we kind of gotta. So thank you very much, Bob. Greatly appreciate your reminder, man. As always, guys, this is BG. We've had a fantastic, wonderful conversation with Zomagi up there in the corner. Once again, there's Zomagi. Throw out your info, throw out your deets, and I'll get the thing going in chat there for you. So your links there.
Yeah, the thing going on in chat. Yeah, for all the people that don't know me, all the information about me is basically that I'm an employee of Toplitz Productions, which brought out the game Lumberjacks Dynasty, Medieval Dynasty, and some other games as well. I learned to stream, I learned to test games from them, and now I also now I found out that I really love to do that with social media, and I'm doing that for my own use as well. So that's what I'm here. I'm known as Zomagi, and yeah, that's all.
No, it was fantastic. It was a good stream today. Thank you so much for joining me over the last 2 days. I really appreciate that. You know, it's been an honor and a blessing to have you here. Yesterday we were able to showcase the game out early. Today we were able to have many different types of conversations, and we blew through 3.5 hours real fast. So, wow.
I felt that was going really good.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic. The community here has been involved with it. Thank you once again, guys, for understanding that, yes, I'm not actually answering 95% of the chat or reading it out as it comes in, but I am reading it and I am responding to any of the questions that were on there. So thank you for your understanding. Otherwise, the usual ending, guys. Thank you for having such a wonderful time with us. Thank you. Have yourselves a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or good night. Thank you for taking the time to kick back, relax, unwind, and I'll see you guys over in Deuce's stream later. In 3, 2, 1. If I can tab out to end. There we go. And later, folks. Bye.
Holy moly.
Yeah, sometimes YouTube, you hit end stream